And we are live. The journey to the 2022 FIFA World Cup continues with another World Cup Qualifiers Daily with your boy Dominic Rich. And this is episode 23. You know, 23 is a number for greatness. And I think we're on the verge of greatness here. Because what we've done for the 2022 World Cup, it's unprecedented. No one has ever done it before. Not even myself. Back in 2018, what I did for the build-up and the World Cup qualifiers is nothing compared to what I've done already. So, I've overachieved. I've really, really overachieved. And we still have a lot of work left to do. We will know most, let's say, of the teams that will qualify from Europe. We'll know a few that will qualify from South America, a few from Asia, a closing in, CONCACAF as well, closing in, and it is a few from Africa are getting close, 180 minutes away, and we still got a long way to go because in 2022 there'll be a lot of qualifiers to play, and we'll be back. We'll be back. You see what I mean? The grind continues, and big up to everybody who's joined the grind with me. So we got Online School in the house, moderate Mappa El Don, Chicken Man Kalola, who says Tunisia lost. Yeah, that's a big shocker for us to talk about today. Taydo in the house, and we got Goran in the house. How are you doing, Goran? Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Big up to everybody in there. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button one time. Got on something fresh here. Oh, man. Feeling good. Nice. Yeah. It's all about the swag, guys. Remember that. Match channel. How are you doing as well? How's everybody doing? Guys, we have a lot to talk about today. So I'm going to get to it because if I don't start now, it's going to take me forever. So we're going to get into proceedings right now. Let's not waste any time, and let me pull up the screen and let's start talking about Africa. And after Africa, we are going to go on to talk about CONCACAF from yesterday. And then we have Conmebol, an update. I have predictions for Asia as well. So if you're an Asian enthusiast, wait around. I have Asian predictions. I'm doing them early. I have predictions for UEFA. Super Sunday tomorrow, guys. Super Sunday. I will be doing some watch-alongs tomorrow. I didn't schedule them as yet because I'm yet to work out the logistics and how I want to do things. But I got to figure it out very, very soon because by the time you know it, tomorrow's here, man. Tomorrow's here. So don't want to delay that. As soon as I'm done with this live stream, I'll be prepping for tomorrow. We have big games coming up. Ghana versus South Africa. Congo DR versus Benin. You got Portugal versus Serbia. Croatia versus Russia. You got a big game coming up between Romania and Liechtenstein. North Macedonia versus Iceland comes to mind. We also have another big game. Spain versus Sweden. So a lot of big games. And guess what? I've made up my mind. I have my predictions ready. Make sure you have yours ready because we will be predicting all these games. All right? So let's do this. Let's do this, man. Let's go. No delay. All right. Let me come down here so that you guys could have more of the screen to look at. You see what I mean? All right. Let's do this. Let us do this. African World Cup qualifiers for Saturday, November 13th. We got to review those games, and then we got to talk November 14th predictions. And I also have predictions for November 15th as well, because those Monday games are all dead rubbers, no significance whatsoever. And we will predict those today as well. So let's go, and we're going to go down to round 2. Some teams have qualified for round 3 already, and we will get into that as well. But let's just recap the games that were played today and just take a look at the results. So let's just scroll all the way down to November and we'll talk about those. All right. So that's right there. All these games on screen right there. So 6 games. One of them is going to be cut off. So, bear with me with this weird FIFA website. All right, so Zambia 4, Mauritania 0. So that's from Group B. And let's just take a look at all these games and go through the scorers and all that good stuff. So from Group B, Zambia 4, Mauritania 0. Zambia could no longer qualify for the World Cup based on their goal difference unless something ridiculous happened on the last match day, where for Zambia they would take on Tunisia and they would need to beat Tunisia by 7 goals or more. So that's not going to happen. So it's fair to say that Zambia are pretty much out. But the team that will be dependent on Zambia to actually help them out would be Equatorial Guinea. So, yeah, if Equatorial Guinea pick up a win against Mauritania or even a draw, and Tunisia lose against Zambia, then it could actually be Zambia. You know what I'm saying? Well, no. Zambia can't surpass Tunisia in goal difference. So it would actually be, if Zambia does win, if Zambia does pick up a win against Tunisia. I know I'm jumping into the permutations already. It's fun, right? It's weird, but if Zambia, and I need to show you guys a table so you see what I'm talking about there. Let's go down to the table really quick. You know what I mean? Let's go down to the table and we'll take a look at the permutations there. All right, so look. Tunisia, they play Zambia. If they lose to Zambia, they would need Equatorial Guinea to lose to Mauritania. Equatorial Guinea would only need a draw if Tunisia loses against Zambia, right? If Equatorial Guinea lose to Mauritania, then Tunisia would be in the driver's seat even if they lose to Zambia because of their goal difference, right? That's the situation there. Equatorial Guinea right now, in my opinion, I think they're in the driver's seat here because they most likely will get something against Mauritania, and I don't trust this Tunisian team right now with Zambia. They, the guys like Patson Daka and Fashan Sakala and all these guys they have there, they're looking dangerous right now. So in the Zambia 4, Mauritania 0 match, Patson Daka scored in the 34th, and these were some really good goals, followed up by Fashan Sakala, who plays his football for Rangers. He scored in the 37th minute, the 45th minute, and the 63rd minute. 45th minute goal was a penalty. So Zambia smashed Mauritania 4-0, but because it didn't do well in the previous rounds, it hampered their World Cup chances. And you have Equatorial Guinea to blame there, where they beat Zambia 2-0 and they picked up a 1-1 draw against them. Zambia also lost to Tunisia. So right now it's between Equatorial Guinea and Tunisia to come through from this group. Pretty much. Look, I would love to see Equatorial Guinea make it to the next round, but Tunisia are still pretty much favorites to go through. Still pretty much. Even though I won't put my money on them, I think they will just do enough. They would at least get a draw. I would love to believe they will get a draw against Zambia. And Africa is so volatile, it's so unpredictable, where Equatorial Guinea could go and lose to Mauritania, or or just get a draw. Tunisia get a draw against Zambia, and it's enough for Tunisia. So big up to John Burns in the house for dropping a super chat. Says, have to post fast. Last night my nephew came over and we had dinner and watched Canada beat Costa Rica. He was so impressed. Showed him David's goal. Yeah, look, big up to Canada, man. Thanks for the Canadian super chat there. Canada, we will talk about some more, and I will give predictions for CONCACAF match day. What is that? 8 predictions that's coming up next week. So I'll talk about Canada a bit later, but appreciate the super chat there, and I'm glad you had a great time, man. Glad you had a great time. Big up to Isaiah Paskins. Big up to Match Channel, Kalol, John S, Sydney Football, everybody in here right about now, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the live stream. You know, can't do it without you. Can't do it without you. We'll be here for a while. We're getting into the discussions. Make sure you guys smash up the thumbs up button as well. So we're going to keep it moving. We're going to go on to the next match. Let me just scroll up to the games there. Let me just scroll back up to the games so you guys could get a visual of what's going on. This round is almost over. It will be over in November, and then we will move on to the third round. It's going to be fun. The draw is coming up next month. I will do a mock draw in advance. I will do a mock draw to see, you know, who, you know what I mean, who we could possibly see meeting up against each other. That'll be something fun to do. So, and I do have a African Cup of Nations predictions coming up where I attempt to predict the entire tournament like I did back in 2019. You know, so I'm going to work on that video as soon as World Cup qualifiers are over and get that out most likely early December. All right, so the next game, Equatorial Guinea 1, Tunisia 0. This is a game I was actually watching. I was watching, I wasn't watching the Zambia game, but I saw this game for sure. And I'm telling you, Equatorial Guinea were very, very impressive, man. They were so impressive. Tunisia, they were giving away the ball. Wabi Kazri was so sloppy on the day. I don't know, you know, when they had a shot at a chance, they put it wide. They just weren't their usual selves on the day. I don't know if they're getting nervous or something, but they didn't play like the Tunisia that we know of. You see, where they fly under the radar and they pick up the results when you least expect them to do so. They were at the last World Cup, and this format isn't very kind to Tunisia. Well, they made it to the last round back in 2014 and didn't qualify for the World Cup, but bounced back in 2018 against Congo DR on the final day. So Tunisia love to take it down to the wire, and it's going to go down to the wire once again. And if it was between these two and this game was the decider, Equatorial Guinea would have gone through. But they would have to depend on, you know, results. Their destinies are basically in their own hands, where they have to make sure they win their game. And especially for Tunisia have to win their game. If Tunisia lose or draw, Equatorial Guinea will take it with a win. So very, very, very interesting stuff happening here in Group B. And I'm glad it's coming down to the wire here. And it's not just a one-sided group like the Algeria group. You know what I'm saying? Not the Algeria group, like the Morocco group, pardon me. So Pablo Granit scored in the 83rd minute. Very good build-up play to that goal. And they had the best chances in the game. And they were just better overall. Just better, man. And they deserve the win. They've gone 3 wins in their last 4 games, and they deserve to be where they're at right about now. Where for Tunisia, they have really flunked in the last 2 games, even picking up a draw against Mauritania, the bottom team in the group. So that 1 point that Mauritania has, it's against Tunisia. So Tunisia are really falling by the wayside right about now. And let's see what happened when the final group game comes up, and that game will happen Tuesday, November 16th. So when I get off of work on Tuesday, this is what I'm going to be dealing with. And I'll be live every single day, guys. Tomorrow, of course, Monday, Tuesday, every day there's World Cup qualifiers game. I'll be live going right back into Friday, where the Premier League live streams comes back, and then next week Champions League, and you know, it's just a continuous thing, man. The grind continues, you know, with football. No need to be hasty. It's a marathon, not a sprint. No need. So with that being said, guys, we're going to move on to the next group. Mauritania play Equatorial Guinea on the final match day, and Tunisia will play against lost my thing right now. Jeez. Tunisia will play against Zambia, pardon me. So, look, we're going to move on. Tunisia, I think, are the favorites. They play at home against Zambia, so all the best to the teams here. So we're going to move on to Group C, guys, where Liberia played Nigeria and Cape Verde played against Central African Republic. Nigeria 2, Liberia 0. Both goals from the penalty spot here. Victor Osimhen in the 15th minute and Ahmed Musa off the bench in the 94th minute to give Nigeria rather comfortable 2-0 win here to stay on top of the group. But the thing is, this group is not yet decided because the final match for Nigeria will be against Cape Verde or Cabo Verde. So this game will be at home for Nigeria. So, you would fancy Nigeria to do the job and to move on to the final round. But you cannot take Cape Verde lightly at all. Nigeria did defeat Cape Verde 2-1, where they had to come from behind to win that game on the road. And Cape Verde are not going to lie down because they are potential World Cup debutants. They have quality in their team, and it's not going to be just a push over for Nigeria. But Cape Verde did what they had to do to set up this final game with picking up a come-from-behind win against Central African Republic, 2-1. It was a very controversial game. I had this game playing, and especially the second goal. Isaac Ngoma scored in the 11th minute for Central African Republic to send shockwaves to Cape Verde. But Julio Tavares scored a really good overhead bicycle kick goal from close range. And then Stupira scored from a corner, which was headed off the line, but it was deemed to go over the line. But the thing about it is that there's no goal line technology in Africa. So I don't know how they deemed that it went over the line when from what I saw, I don't think the linesman was actually right on the line. It's just weird in Africa, man. There's some weird decisions, even in the Cameroon game when a ball was cleared off the line and it was the player was given a red card. I'm pretty sure the ball went over the line and the goal should have stood and the player should have stayed on the field. You see what I mean? If you had VAR, you could have reviewed these things and then all of that could have been avoided. But Africa does not have VAR, and you have all these messy situations in the game where, Central African Republic official was even shown the red card during that moment. A lot of fights breaking out in the games, and it's just a whole mess. But, we love the drama. It makes for good entertainment, and you can't hate against that. You see what I mean? Because the football is all entertainment at the end of the day. So if we scroll down to the table right now, guys, for Group C, you see Liberia already eliminated. Central African Republic eliminated today. Cape Verde still alive with 10 points and Nigeria with 12 points. I will talk more about the Cape Verde-Nigeria game in the future, maybe tomorrow or Monday, but I'll get to it. I won't get too deep into this right about now. But all Nigeria needs to do is to pick up a draw. They are at home. They have a quality team. And I think Gernot Rowe's men would fancy their chances to just get a draw, at least a draw, to move on to the next round, where they will be one of the seeded teams to play a weaker opposition coming through from the second round into the third. So, Nigeria should be okay, but I don't know how okay they are going to be in the third round, though. You see what I'm saying? Because the third round is going to be very difficult, where these underdog teams are going to be coming for your head tops. So, all the best to Nigeria, all the best to Cape Verde. Hard luck to Central African Republic, who promised, even picked up a victory there against Nigeria, and Liberia, who, showed promise early on in qualifiers. So that's it for Group C. We have one more group that's going to go down to the wire as well, and that's Group D. That's Group D, where we had games between Ivory Coast and Mozambique, where Malawi took on Cameroon, the 2021 African Cup of Nations host. We just scroll back up to these games right now, and you guys could get a visual of, the results. So, yeah, let me scroll down one. All right, that's much, much better. So, let's start with the game. Cameroon 4, Malawi 0. Jean Banda in the 21st minute, red card for clearing the ball off the line with his hand. As I said, the ball had went over the line anyways. Vincent Abubakar stepped up to put it in the back of the net. 1-0 to Cameroon. Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa, the Napoli man on loan from Fulham, banged in a brilliant volley in the 41st minute. And then Christian Bassogag, who shined for Cameroon at the 2017, I could remember, I'm forgetting, it's now extinct, Confederations Cup, where Cameroon did win 2017 African Cup of Nations. He's been around for some time. He came off the bench and put in a brace in the 85th and 87th minute. Brilliant stuff. But they would need to put out a performance like this come next week against the Ivory Coast. So Cameroon, with that 4-0 win, they stay second in the table, 12 points, one behind Ivory Coast, who they lost to on 13 points. So let's take a look right now at the table, guys, before we move into the Ivory Coast game. And you could see what's going on in that group right now. Very, very interesting stuff. And I like that Africa came down to the wire like this. I really, really like that, man. You know what I'm saying? This FIFA website needs to be rebuilt completely from scratch. So annoying, man. With all these drop-down menus and all kinds of bullshit. So, yeah. Big up to everybody in the chat. Guys, don't forget to smash up the thumbs up button. We got a lot to go through today, okay? So, yeah. Ivory Coast 3, Mozambique 0. Max Alain Gradel in the 10th minute. Maxwell Cornet with a brilliant goal in the 61st. And Jean-Michel Seri in the 90th. As Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, run to a convincing victory against Mozambique. But the real test lies when they play against Cameroon. And that game coming up next week, it will be in Cameroon on November 16th, Tuesday. So it's going to be a Super Tuesday as well, where we have some, shootouts for those final places into the third round. So awesome stuff, man. Looking forward to that one. And it's going to be a good game. Ivory Coast need a draw. Cameroon needs a win. So Ivory Coast would like to rump with finish it off with a win, but a draw would be good enough. Look, two quality team, a lot of talent on display. Ivory Coast looks good, man. They look good. You're talking Frank Kessié, Seri Die, the veteran. You have Jean-Michel Seri, who was linked to Barcelona from Nice a couple years ago, but went to Fulham. You have Max Alain Gradel, who's been around for some time. You see what I'm saying? You have Serge Aurier. You have Sébastien Haller. You got the likes of Nicolas Pepe, Maxwell Cornet. You have Willy Bali, Eric Bailly. All these guys. It's like, listen, Ivory Coast, a bit too stacked up, in my opinion, to miss out here with only needing a draw. You got guys like Christian Kouame, who you could call on. And there's a few names that I'm only calling the big names and not talking about the other players, but quality outfit, man. And it would be a shame if they don't at least get to the final round. So for Cameroon, look, it's the same bunch of guys they've been dependent on over the last few years. Guys like, Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa. You know what I'm saying? You have the likes of Vincent Abubakar. You have Carl Toko Ikambi. You see what I'm saying? And the list goes on. You have Christian Bassogag. These guys are remnants from the 2017 African Cup of Nations win, and they're experienced, but you need that fresh blood coming through. They still look good, but you need a fresh blood coming through as well. So it will take a big effort from Cameroon to get over this very, very, very good Ivorian team. So that's how Group D is set up going into the final match day. And I fancy the Ivory Coast to take it into the third round. So how's everybody doing, man? Big up to where's Zaha? Yeah, Zaha seems like he didn't get a call up or he didn't accept a call up or the team is too stacked up and it doesn't even matter. You see what I'm saying? So Aaron Guy, how are you doing? He says that only Brazil could stop France from going back to back. Nice to see you in here. Kerry Jacob, Dom, what's happened to the gaming channel? Nothing. The content is still there. You could go watch over content. Content is still there. It's still relevant. You could go watch the content. But I haven't bought FIFA 22 yet, and I've been very, 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 caught up with World Cup qualifiers. And as soon as we get a little break, I'll buy FIFA 22, and we'll get back to playing some games. Big up to Alejandro Loaiz in the house, man. How you feeling? Nice to see you guys in here right now. We got Isaiah Paskins, Ilyas Abdi in here, who he didn't come because he gets ill every international duty. Okay, I see. So who else we got in here, man, who I haven't shouted out yet? Guys, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. We got about 40 people in here, and we only got 16 likes. Come on, guys. You could do a lot better than that. So we got games coming up tomorrow, Sunday, November 14th. And we'll be making predictions, okay? Hello to everybody. Hello. Make a formal hello again. Because I'm down there small in the corner. I want to come up and say hi sometimes, all right? So, let's start, man. Let's start. We got too much to go through to be BSing right now. Let's go. Group E, Group J, Group E, Group G, Group H, Group J. And we have Monday games from Group A, E, H, and I to predict. So let's get to the predicting, okay? Guys, if you have your predictions ready, please ready to drop him in the chat. All right, don't be shy. Don't be shy. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be picking off the dead rubbers first. And when I said dead rubber, Mali have already qualified. So we have Mali versus Uganda. And if you check Group E, right? I'm going to share the two Group E predictions that I have. One from Sunday, one from Monday. We're going to go down to Group E, and you guys could have a visual of what's going on in Group E. Mali have already made it to the third round, and they are 180 minutes away from making an official debut at a FIFA World Cup. So I'm going for Mali to finish things off by beating Uganda 3-1. Guys, remember, teams are going to be rotated because it doesn't really make sense to risk some of your key players. You don't want to risk them getting long-term injury. And this goes all across the board. AFCON is coming up. You don't want to have players out with ACLs and things like that. And you have big tournaments coming up, right? You have a World Cup coming up next year. You want players to be ready, well-oiled, and prepared. So I'm going for Mali to continue their winning ways and go unbeaten in the group. 3-1 against Uganda. Uganda could well get something from this game, but I'm not going to go for them to get anything. So 3-1 to Mali. They will get a goal, however. The next game to cap off Group E. Kenya will host Rwanda. I'm going for Kenya to pick up a 2-1 win over Rwanda and, finish off respectably with 6 points. 6 points picked up there. Rwanda, they have a long way to go, but I think it's a good achievement that they even made it to the second round. So that does it for Group E. It's a dead rubber group anyways because Mali have qualified already. So the next group that we have is Group G. Look, Group F, we spoke about Group F yesterday. We will touch on Group F some more next time I do one of these live streams where Egypt have qualified already. So why, we don't need to get too deep into that one, right? But I will have predictions for those games when I do predictions in Africa again for the games coming up on Tuesday. I think there's going to be a lot of games on Tuesday. I think things are finishing off on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So let me just double check really quick. Yep. There's going to be all the games being finished off on Tuesday. So I'll come with predictions for those ones most likely tomorrow or Monday night. So we're going to move on. Big games from Group G, guys. Big games from Group G. But we have another dead rubber group to talk about. And that's Group H. We will get back to Group G. Senegal versus Congo. I have Senegal beating Congo 2-1. Even with a rotated team, the Senegal team is very, very deep. And Congo at the bottom have not been that good. So Senegal to go unbeaten. Congo could well get something, but I'm not predicting them to get anything. And the next game, Togo versus Namibia. Togo coming up against Namibia. That's on Monday. Namibia would host the game. And I'm going for Namibia to win the match 2-0 here against Togo. And Namibia would finish second in the group behind Senegal, but second gets nothing. So congrats to Senegal again. Congrats to Egypt again for making it to the final round. We also have Mali on to the final round. We have Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory, and Cameroon scrapping it out. Nigeria and Cape Verde scrapping it out. Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea scrapping it out, with Zambia with an outside chance if they destroy Tunisia and Equatorial Guinea lose, but still that won't happen. And Algeria and Burkina Faso scrapping it out as well on Tuesday. So the Tuesday, it's going to be a Super Tuesday, just like it's going to be a Super Sunday tomorrow. It's already Sunday for some of you guys, I know, but it's going to be a Super Tuesday as well. So let's just scroll back. We have to talk about Group G, and we got to talk about Group J, where we have very important games coming up in these groups here. So let's first talk about the game that does not have any significance. Zimbabwe versus Ethiopia. I'm going for the bottom teams in the group to play to a 1-1 draw here. Ethiopia has not been bad. Zimbabwe has been awful, but since they're going to be hosting the game, I'm going to go for them to get something out of it. 1-1 Zimbabwe and Ethiopia. Now we come to the big game between South Africa and Ghana. This will be hosted by Ghana. This definitely will be hosted by Ghana. So let's get into this one. This one is huge, 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 huge. This is fight to the death for the final place for the place in the final round. Pardon me. So you could see right here. Anything on the timeline? Nothing. Info? Nothing. Only refs. But I have something whipped up for you guys, in terms of head-to-head. This website, man. God damn. Jesus Christ. Anyways, let me leave it like that. Okay. Ghana versus South Africa. Sunday, the 14th of November. For place in the third round of CAF 2022 World Cup qualifiers, where they will be 180 minutes away from qualifying to Qatar. In terms of head-to-head, these teams have met previously on 15 different occasions, with Ghana picking up 4 wins, South Africa picking up 5 wins, and 6 games ending in draws. In terms of their World Cup qualifiers meeting, for the 2006 World Cup qualifiers, where Ghana made their debut, they beat South Africa twice on their way to qualify for Germany 2006. That was their debut, as I mentioned. But when they met in 2021, South Africa won 1-0. And that's also because a lot of the Ghanaians did not travel to South Africa because they were, on the red list for England and some of the other European nations, to be fair to Ghana. And that's why they find themselves behind in the table against South Africa. Credit to South Africa. They did what they had to do. They got the job done. But we have to keep it real here. Ghana were the favorites to come through from the group, but they find themselves 3 points behind South Africa, where they would need to bounce back. In terms of the managers, Ghana recently reappointed their 2010 World Cup coach, Milovan Rajevac. He's a Serbian, And South Africa has been managed by the Belgian Hugo Bruce. In terms of form, Ghana picked up a 1-1 draw in their last game against Ethiopia. And for South Africa, they defeated Zimbabwe a goal to nil. So, look, this game will be hosted by Ghana. And we know what Ghana are capable of doing. They have the RU brothers. They have Kamaldeen Sulemania. They have, the more well-known players who play abroad, who play in England, Spain, France, you name it. They got the talent. But for some reason, this team has not really put out the performances that I expected them to put out at all. And my confidence in Ghana has just waned over the last couple months. The 1-1 against Ethiopia last Thursday was shocking. You see what I mean? I'm like, you're supposed to do the business against Ethiopia. They would have still needed to win against South Africa, but still, do what you have to do. You see what I mean? Do what you have to do. Now, they find themselves in a situation where they're 3 points behind South Africa, and they're, in terms of goal difference, they are 2 goals behind. So, look, they need to now win the game by 2 goals. 2 goals to nil in order to go through basically on most goals scored. And that's not a good situation to find yourself in. It doesn't matter who you have playing for you. The South African team mostly plays locally in the South African League. And you have guys like Percy Tau to add to that. It makes for a very, very good set of players there. And guys, I do not want to basically go and say, okay, because Ghana have the more talented players and they historically have been the better team and whatnot. I don't want to make my predictions based on that. I want to make sensible predictions there. And even though Ghana is hosting the game, guys, South Africa are not losing this game. And even if they lose the game, they won't lose the game by a margin of 2 goals or more that would allow Ghana to surpass them in the table. South Africa advances from this match and advances from this group. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Disappointment for Ghana, who I picked to go through to the final round. But South Africa makes the cut even after missing the African Cup of Nations that's coming up early next year. 1-1 draw. That's my final prediction. Even if Ghana picks up a win here, I don't think it's going to be enough to get the better of South Africa in their group. Look, the damage, I think, has been done. That win that South Africa picked up against Ghana, and when Ghana dropped points against Ethiopia, I think that did them in. And disappointingly for Ghana, that's it. The World Cup dream for 2022, over. That's my final predictions. Let me know yours. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. Let me know if you like my little analysis there. I did some research before, this whole thing. I had to take a nap this evening as well. I was tired, very tired from doing this. This is very tiring. I'm telling you guys. So smash up the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so, guys. Come on, you're playing games. You got 57 people in here. We should be as close to 50 thumbs up, right now. We should be very, very close to 50 thumbs up. You guys are playing, man. So what are you guys saying in the chat right about now? Talk to me. Hugo Bruce, coach Cameroon to victory at the Cup of Nations. We got, thank you there, Chase Athletics, who says South Africa to win, I think. Roma Arona, we need 1 goal. I don't know who you're talking about, but let's just take a look at the standings here. Take a look at the standings really quick. You guys could see the standings in this group, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. So, bam. Let's get to this group. Group G. Plus 1 goal won't do it. Yeah, one goal. Yeah, one goal would do it. One goal would. Yeah, one goal would do it. You're right. One goal would do it. Definitely. You score one, you get 7. A goal to nil, 2-1 win. Yeah, but I think the game is ending in a draw. 1-1. 1-1. Goal difference confuses me sometimes, because when you score one, you have to actually -1 from the other team. So a 1-0 win would actually do it. So I correct myself there. A 1-0 win would do it. So yeah, I'm only human, man. It's whatever. 1-0 win for Ghana would do it. I don't think that's going to happen. 2-1, that's not going to happen. 1-1 draw. Or even a South Africa win. But South Africa are not relinquishing that top spot. I hate when I make stupid little mistakes like that, guys. But it's all good. So thank you there, Aroma. Appreciate that. What we got here? Zia Zhang, Ghana 2-1 win. South Africa scoring in the last minute, a historical goal. Yeah, but we just actually verify that they need to draw the game or win the game, and not a 1-0 win for Ghana does it. So Ghana just needs a win. Oh, any win would do it. But appreciate it, Roma. Sometimes I don't always get things right. It's okay. And I have to admit when I'm wrong. So, yeah, definitely wrong. So, Ilyas Abdi is saying a 1-0 win to Ghana. But, yeah, I'm going for a draw, though. I'm going for a draw. 2-1 to Ghana over South Africa. What else we got? Trent Tiger Games, 1-1. South Africa, go through. Let me see. Theodore Granite, any win is enough. Yeah, I did all that, for nothing. I sounded really, really fancy there too, and I was like, effing it up the whole time, right? But it's fine. It's all goal difference. I didn't predict a win for Ghana anyways. I predicted a draw, so I'm good with that. I said they need to win by 2 goals. They only need to win by 1 goal. Any win would do. So do correct myself there. So that's it for that one. We do have another one to talk about, another big one. And that's the game between Congo DR and Benin. That's from Group J. So, yeah, let's move on to Group J. Let's go to Group J. Right now, Morocco through. Let me go back here. Senegal through, Morocco through. Benin on top. Benin would only need a draw, and they're through. Congo DR, any win would do for Congo DR. They have a better goal difference right now. They have more goals scored. Let me not make the same mistake twice. Any win for Congo DR does it. All right. So let's go. Let us go for this group. This one is rather simple in terms of the research because the first match between these two teams was their first ever meeting. All right, let me do that over. Congo DR versus Benin in Group J for a spot in the 3rd round of African World Cup qualifiers, where Benin or Congo could be at 180 minutes away from qualifying for Qatar. They come up against each other. Congo DR would host the game. In terms of their head-to-head, this would be their 2nd ever meeting. The first game ended in a draw. And that was their first ever meeting, as I mentioned, and it came in World Cup qualifiers. Hector Cooper, an Argentinian who took Egypt to the World Cup in 2018, is in charge of Congo DR, so he has the know-how. And for Benin, Mikel Dussoyer, the Frenchman, is in charge of the Squirrels. So in terms of form, Tanzania, 0, Congo DR 3, Benin 2, Madagascar 0. And Benin have done really well during World Cup qualifiers there, and they find themselves needing only a draw to qualify. From what I've seen from this Benin team, I think they got what it takes because Congo DR have been very, very inconsistent. Those draws, it's like how they managed to draw points in those games. I can't quite wrap my head around it because they were quite dominant in most of their games. and they still ended up being on 8 points, 2 points behind Benin, who I never fancied to come this far, or even be on top of the group at this point in time. But Congo did drop points to Benin, and that's after scoring first in the game. And they've just been very, very, inconsistent, man. And they got to do a lot better. I can remember back in for the 2018 World Cup, they were in a prime position to actually get ahead of Tunisia, but in the final 2 games, they lost and drew the games. The game against Tanzania, they were up 1-0. Drop points from a winning position again. So they got to cut that out, man. They got to cut that out. They did bounce back well in October against Madagascar and beat Tanzania last Thursday. But they would need to get the better of Benin this time around. A draw won't suffice. And for this one, I am going for the game to also end in a draw 1-1. I know it might sound boring, but I don't think Benin are going to give this up, man. This is a historic moment for Benin. And in terms of their football and everything, they have some quality players. Steve Mounier comes to mind. He's the most famous player from their squad. He used to play in the Premier League and all. And he really dominated in French football for some time. I know there might be some other standout players, but I don't know the Benin team very, 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 very well. Another standout player is Cedric Hutunje, who plays for Toulouse. That's a player I know as well. But Congo DR, they got the more well-known players. You might say they look better on paper, but even though they're at home and they have Hector Cooper in charge, I think they're going to draw the game and Benin, they're going to advance. I like the way things are shaping up right now with these underdog teams like Mali, South Africa. You have a Benin who could go through. You even have a Burkina Faso who could potentially upset Algeria. You have Cape Verde who could upset Nigeria. And African World Cup qualifiers is very, very exciting right about now. Let's not act like it's not exciting. We have Equatorial Guinea who could get the better of Tunisia in the group. So, you have Cameroon, Ivory Coast coming up. This is nice, man. This is really, really nice. And I'm glad it's shaping up to be just so. And the third round would be fantastic as well. That's coming up in 2022. So, guys, drop your predictions for me. We'll definitely appreciate that. What you got? Who you got going through to the next round? I did put out some poll on the channel, so make sure you go check out those polls and let me know who you think are going to go through. So, Sydney football, hope Congo DR get through. They have potential player pool from being a Belgian colony. Yep, you can call up players from the Belgian League, the same way Jamaica have been from the Premier League. Congo DR have a lineup. Yep. Tough game. Ilias is saying 2-1 to Congo. They need to start calling up Wan-Bissaka. He is never getting called up for England. Yeah, good point there. Good point. So, split decision. Who's saying 2-1 to Congo? Hui Kim, hard luck Tanzania. From first place, just one loss, and you're already out. I know, man. Masuaku Masterclass says Adnan Mass Channel 3-3 Thriller. God damn. Jesus Christ. Kevin Morris, how are you, man? 1-1 draw. We got, what is this from? The previous game, or is this on the Congo DR game? Anyways. So, what we got? What we got in here in terms of predictions? Trent Tiger games. Madagascar 2-0. Congo DR 1-1. Thank you there for your predictions. You have to be a brave man to bet against Algeria, but Burkina Faso want revenge. Yep. And that's revenge from 2014, right? When they only was Algeria went through on away goals. And we did talk about that one yesterday as well. Palomo is in a 0-0, a boring game. How are you doing, Palomo? Appreciate you coming through to the live stream, man. Look, so guys, that will pretty much be it for Africa. We also have a game coming up in Group I. Let me go back to just want to cover all games. We have a game coming up there. We have Niger versus Djibouti. Group A, the Monday games. Let me just predict. Did I predict these games already? Niger 3, let me just predict the games that's coming up Monday to make sure I cover those games. I did talk about Kenya, Rwanda. I'm going for 2-1 to Kenya over Rwanda. Namibia, Togo, 2-0 to Namibia. Guinea-Bissau versus Sudan. I'm going for 3-1 to Guinea-Bissau. And Niger, Djibouti, thriller. A 3-2 thriller. So those are my predictions for the African World Cup qualifiers. There's games coming up Tuesday. I'll talk about those ones in the future. And in terms of these games, important games include Algeria versus Burkina Faso, Nigeria versus Cape Verde, Tunisia versus Zambia, Ivory Coast versus Cameroon, and Mauritania versus Equatorial Guinea. So on the final match day for Africa, it's definitely have some importance there. So thank you very much for listening. We will move on to the next confederation. Thank you there. Thank you. So let's just scroll. And we got to just talk briefly about CONCACAF. I did put out a video on the channel last night. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say about those matches, you know, you could tune in to those videos and let me know what you think. Okay. So, yeah. Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, Jamaica, Mexico, Panama, and USA scrap it out for 3 direct spots plus a half chance into the playoff to face a team from another confederation. So just to talk about yesterday's matches briefly, not going to get too deep into these. Just want to touch on CONCACAF before we move on to Conmebol, where we won't talk about that one for a very long time. But what I have for you is predictions in CONCACAF for the games coming up next week. I'm going to do those today simply because it's the return fixtures that's coming back around, because we've had 7 match days and we're now going into the final set of matches in World Cup qualifiers. So look, I did an intense analysis of the previous matches in terms of head-to-head and all of that. So I won't be getting into that for these ones. I'll just be going on form and how I see each team has been performing over the last 7 games, if you understand what I'm saying. So guys, don't forget to smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. We need 17 more likes to get to 50. And we barely got to 50 yesterday. And the replay didn't even help because, you know, you guys are not liking the videos. I don't know what's going on with y'all though. Y'all don't like stuff. Like up the thing. Stop making me beg. Like it up. Anyways, let's start CONCACAF and start these games in November. All right. Honduras 3, Panama. Honduras 2, Panama 3. God damn, what a game, man. What a game. This is a big comeback. And I also have a stat from this one that says that Panama are the first team ever in World Cup qualifying history to come back on the road after 75 minutes being 2-0 down. First time ever this has ever happened. And Panama pulled it off. It was absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant. And you have to give it to Panama here, because Honduras were cruising. They were pretty much cruising, and they had a meltdown, a big meltdown. And this meltdown could actually, you know, signal the end of their chances to qualify for Qatar 2022, because a win would have put them in a very, very good position. But this loss, man, you know, it's bad. This is a bad loss. This is a huge loss, man. So Albert Ellis in the 38th minute, Brian Moya in the 59th. Great start under their new boss Hernan Dario Gomez. And I was saying to myself, God damn, Mr. Hernan Dario Gomez doing a great job here. And Thomas Christensen was looking really worried on the touchline. And I was saying, they don't go on and get this man from Denmark, you know, to manage their team. He's been doing a good job. And then he just flunked out in October, and it's looking like a horrible November for him again. And they just bounced back. Horrible mistake by the defenders. And when you think about the fact that Figueroa was involved in that, it's like, damn. Cecilia Waterman, the beneficiary of that mistake, just stepped up and put it in easily. Cesar Yanis, I think that goal was an offside goal though, but CONCACAF doesn't have VAR. And the Eric Davis free kick was just good. Eric Davis is a good dead ball specialist, good in terms of crossing the balls into the box. And I don't know how Luis Lopez didn't get a red card for that tackle. You see what I'm saying? Outside his box and all. So, catastrophic meltdown for Honduras. And they stay bottom of the table. Let's just go down to the table really quick to just see where, the results reflect the table. Honduras only has 3 points. They could only get a maximum of 24 points. They would need to win every single game, which means they would have to beat every single CONCACAF nation to qualify for the World Cup. If they do that, they will qualify. Wins are the solution. When you're having problems, when you start winning, those problems would go away very, very fast. But if you keep drawing or you keep losing, you could kiss a World Cup place goodbye. And we know Honduras made it to the playoffs the last time around, but they lost to Australia. So, Honduras, man, I think they're done. I think it's over. Panama, on the other hand, they put themselves in a really good position here because being on 11 points, right, in fourth, if they pick up a win in their next game where they play El Salvador, I'll come up with the predictions just now, guys, and one of USA, Mexico, or Canada drop points or lose their games, then Panama shoots up to the top or shoots into a direct spot. It is very, very amazing. And you can't write them off, man. They got a lot of fight. They got a good manager. And I think it's going to be very close for those 3 spots and that playoffs. Mexico, it seems like they might get dragged into that too. They were running away with the octagonal, but they're getting dragged back into the race. Costa Rica, Jamaica, El Salvador, Honduras need W's to stay in the race. But if on Tuesday any of these teams fail to pick up 3 points, their chances would start to dwindle. It's not over, but you would only have a maximum of 18 points to get, right? Maximum of 18 points available, and for those teams, they could only get a maximum of 20. They would need to win everything. And we know those teams are not in the business of winning things these days, right? So, look, that's the first game. Honduras 2, Panama 3. Great job by Panama. There's a video on the channel talking about that. And I wish you guys go and check that out. Smash the thumbs up button on that one. So, we're going to move on to the next game really quick. El Salvador 1, Jamaica 1. So, look, Mikel Antonio in the 82nd minute. Pretty good stuff, man. And I went over on Ryan LFC's channel. Big up to my boy Ryan LFC. And I saw that Ryan says Tapper out. I'm like, really? Tapper out? For what? I think Tapper has done a great job over the last 5 games. When you really think about it, guys. He have done a really good job, right? Think about it. 1-1 against El Salvador on the road. 2-0 against Honduras on the road. 0-0 against Canada at home. 3 games, no losses. And these Jamaican fans are screaming for Tapper Whitmore out. I don't get it. I really don't get it. There has been a revival. There has been a revival where Jamaica crawl from the bottom of the table and they are now 6th. A couple wins, Jamaica back in the mix. Have faith in the manager. The players need to step up because I think that Tapper Whitmore did what he had to do. In my humble opinion, Tapper Whitmore did what he had to do. He did some sensible things, if you ask me, because the changes that Tapper Whitmore made, it affected the game to get the goal. All the changes, the 4 changes that he made came before the goal. Antonio with a really good individual goal. And then when he made the change to take off Leon Bailey and bring on Liam Moore, think about it. Yeah, you're in here. You're in here. Yeah, speak of the devil. Why you... Look, I don't understand you guys. I don't. Because Liam Moore's inclusion for Liam Moore to come on, that's a sensible substitution. Liam Moore is a defender. You get more, defensive players on the field, and the Jamaican players just switch off. It's not Tapper Whitmore's fault why the goal was scored. Go back and watch the goal. Nobody's picking up the 2 El Salvadorian attackers in the middle of the freaking box. Nobody. And how you allow a cross like that to come in? Nobody's closing down the man. I wish we could go back and check the goal right now, but I don't want to mess up the stream with the copyright bullshit. You know what I mean? But look, Tapper Whitmore did what he had to do. The players switched off and allowed El Salvador back in the game. It's a good result. I predicted Jamaica to win. They almost did it. And they, the players switched off in the end there. Tapper did everything he had to do. Everything. Because if you go back and you check the results, as I mentioned, the last 5 games, Jamaica. But let me just get this straight. Last 5 games, Jamaica has only lost 1 game. How are you calling for a manager to go if he's only lost 1 in 5, trying to come back after a horrible start? You see what I mean? Lost to Mexico, lost to Panama, and in his next 5 games only picked up 1 loss, which was against the USA. That's not bad. That is not bad if you ask me. That is not bad if you ask me. I think Jamaica playing better football than Costa Rica. Jamaica playing, the table have reflected that they're playing much better than El Salvador now, and way better than Honduras. Okay? The upcoming games are going to determine Jamaica's fate. But from the get-go, I never had Jamaica qualifying for the World Cup. That's the problem with a lot of Jamaican fans. You guys are delusional. And this is not an attack. This is just facts. You guys are delusional. If you look at how the thing is set up, Jamaica, always against the odds. Always against the odds. So if they are to qualify, it would be against the odds. It would be against the odds. And they would have to beat the USA next week. You beat the USA, you send a statement, you go up to 5th in the group. In the octagonal, you go up to 5th. And then you start asking questions for when the qualifiers come back in January, February. You grow strength by strength. A draw won't be a bad result either. It won't be a bad result. But you can't keep blaming the manager when there's evidence that the manager, even though you blame him in the past, you can't keep blaming him. You got to give, the players need to take account of what they're doing on the field. Let's talk sense here. Those were good results. 5 games, 1 loss. That's a good run. That is a good run. I don't think you could bring anybody in and they do a better job than that right now. I know Tapper is not the best. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's definitely done what he's supposed to do in terms of picking up points. Beating Honduras on the road, things like that does not happen. It's playing at Honduras, it's very difficult. Very difficult, and they pulled off a win. So, yeah, man. What are you guys saying here? Talk to me. Talk to me, man. What we got? Big up to Philip M in the house. Moderate Mappa in the house. We got Ryan is saying, I need help. Bro, you guys need help, bro. You guys expect too much, man. You see what I'm saying? You got your expectations up way too high, man. Seriously. That's where the problem comes in. Yeah, you guys' expectations are way too high. You should just take the underdog tag and try to qualify as underdogs. But don't think that a spot is definitely guaranteed. It's not. Big up to Stefan Muradali. They think they are better than they are. Look, they got some good players. They got some good players. And when you look at the team, they're definitely capable. They're capable. But they need to go out there and get the results on the day. See what I mean? Big up to Dr. Negative in the house. I think Mexico do have young talent, but don't use them. Cordova, Vega, tons of talent. Liga MX, but they use players such as Herrera because he's in Europe. Great point. We're going to get to that. Definitely going to get to that. So, what else we got here? I saw some good comments earlier, you know. So, Sydney Football says, I prefer when Jamaica aren't doing so well so that Dom can talk about him getting slapped up when they lost at home to Panama. Well, I'm not Jamaican, by the way, guys. You guys should know that. I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines with my flag in the background over there. I'm not from Jamaica, you know what I mean? So I don't claim Jamaica. Never did. Never will. You see what I'm saying? I'm from St. Vincent. So I could talk how I want about Jamaica without bias. You see? But Ryan, bro, you guys need to wake up, bro. You know? You guys need to wake up, smell the coffee. It's just going to be very, very difficult. So, the next game, Canada 1, Costa Rica 0. Got to give it up to this Canadian team, man. What a team. What a freaking team, man. They are the only unbeaten team left in the octagonal. And they are third in the table right now. They got to be very cautious. They got to continue picking up points because they could drop down to fourth in, you know, the blink of an eye. You don't want to drop to fourth. You don't want that playoff spot. You want to qualify directly. So Canada, they got to keep picking up those W's and just watch the other teams around them falter. Like a Panama, they'll drop points. A USA would drop points. A Mexico would drop points. Canada, keep picking up your wins and the odd draws. You see what I'm saying? And then you'll be okay. So, 1 goal in this game, Jonathan David scored. Very fortuitous goal in the 57th minute when Moreira, Costa Rican keeper, came out, dropped the ball. And they did drop the ball against Canada. Canada ran to a 1-0 win. They were the more impressive, more dominant, had more possession and everything, more shots at goal. And they hit the post a couple times, the crossbar. And it was always going to be Canada winning the game on the day. They played in Edmonton, where I'm hearing it's very cold right now. In New York City right now, it's 42 degrees Fahrenheit, right? 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me see what it is in Edmonton right now. Edmonton City, Alberta, Canada, right now. Temperature right now. And 33 degrees Fahrenheit, that's cold, bro. That is cold. That is cold. 33 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. Let me let you guys know what that is. That is, oh man, 33 degrees to Celsius. Let me convert that. Let me convert that. Celsius. That should be yeah, that should be about 5 degrees. That should be, let me see something. This shit is very very confusing right now. All right. So let me see something. Yeah, it's cold, man. It is cold. That's like -5 right now, I think. Yeah. Nah, about let me see something. That's about 0. 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius, so it's about 0 degrees right now. That's freezing weather. And that's freezing weather right now. You don't want to play in Canada right now. And Canada play Mexico next week. You don't really want to play in Canada right now. And they're smart. They know exactly what they're doing. They didn't put the game in Toronto where it's closer to my weather. They put it in Alberta. You see what I'm saying? Where it's colder, which is smart. Very, very smart. And Mexico are going to have a very hard time next week. I have predictions coming up, guys, so stick around for those predictions. Canada, always expected them to win. Not going to be too drawn out with this one. I have a video on the channel. Go check it out, guys. So, look, the last game, USA 2, Mexico 0. I'm so disappointed in this Mexican team. I expected Mexico to do a lot better than they did against the USA. All across 2021, they have failed against the USA miserably. CONCACAF Nations League final, failed. Gold Cup final, fail. And now in World Cup qualifiers, fail again. It's appalling by the Mexican national team. And when you look at the talent that they have on display and the talent that they have available to them, I'm thinking they would actually do a lot better. And I predicted Mexico to win the game 2-1 because I thought that Mr. Greg Berhalter was actually going to mess up in terms of his predictions. You see what I'm saying? His 11, not predictions. What am I saying? I thought he was going to mess up with his selection and put out a bum team, but he put out a good team and they ended up dominating Mexico. I was like, Jesus Christ, these US guys are something, man. The USA have used about giving 26 players World Cup qualifiers debuts, right? First time they've taken part in World Cup qualifiers. That's a big pool of players. And these guys are young. And someone spoke about Mexico not giving the youngsters a chance. Maybe Mexico would learn something from what the US are doing right now. 18 shots at goal, 5 on target compared to Mexico's 8, 4 on target. It was total domination in terms of the attacking third and in the midfield, where Yunus Musa, Tyler Adams, and Weston McKennie bossed the midfield. Edson Alvarez, Romo, and Hector Herrera couldn't deal with these guys. They couldn't deal. And another thing is the Mexican defense. Why are they always changing up the defense so much, though? They're changing up their defense way too much, and I think, you know, Tata Martino does not know his best team. I'm not saying Greg Berhalter knows his best team, but he's getting to that point, though. Because you see when Brendan Aronson is playing well, he's continuing with Aronson. Pepe, you know, going through a little slump right now, but it's just the presence. McKennie, Tyler Adams, you know, Yunus Musa, he's playing well, so he's getting the games. Anthony Robinson had a great game. Yedlin, you know, I quiet, didn't even realize he was playing. But when you have so much stock in the fullback position, you are blessed, I'm telling you. When you have Dest, Yedlin, there's Scally now on the scene. You see what I'm saying? And there's Sam Vines, there's Bello, there's Reggie Cannon. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And there's a few other guys that could play in that position as well, you know, that I'm not, talking about. But I'm telling you, this team has depth, and that was an important win against Mexico because it took the U.S. ahead of Mexico in the table. Pulisic off the bench in the 74th, Weston McKennie in the 85th. Miles Robinson did get sent off, so he won't feature in the game against Jamaica, which I think would be fine because you have Chris Richards you could bring into the team. And you talk about the depth, Chris Richards with the, coming. Mark McKenzie could step in as well. You know, so they got the depth, man. Greg Berhalter, I think you got way too much options, and that's your problem. When you have too much options, too many options, you don't know what to do sometimes. But he got it right on the day. He deserves the credit on the day. And when he messes up, we would get on his ass as well. But they battered Mexico, man. Clean sheet and all. The boy Zach Steffen did have to pull off a couple saves, you know what I mean? But nothing too crazy. And Greg Berhalter gets the better of Tata Martino once again, which is a great thing for U.S. fans. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And you guys can see the table, how it reflects the table. The USA are now on top the octagonal, pardon me, with 14 points in their first 14 games. In order for them to not qualify for Qatar, they would need a horrible last 7 games in the return fixtures against all the other teams, right? But you would fancy the USA out of 21 available points to at least get 10. At least 10 points would be good enough. 24 points is good enough, in my opinion. Mexico, you fancy them to get 10 as well. You fancy them to get 10 points from an available 21. Canada, you fancy them to get 10 as well. Panama, you fancy them to get at least 10 as well. So it's going to be very close, I think, for the top 4 spots. But for the teams in the bottom half of the table, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I really can't. I can't bet no money on these guys at all. Not even $1. I'll bet on these guys because I think I'll lose my money. And money is kind of hard to come by these days with prices going up, inflation and all of that. So it's going to be rough. So I think the top 4 is where it's at. The bottom 4, it will take a miracle for these teams to come through to the, into the top 4 and the even vie for place for Qatar 2022. So big up to everybody in the stream right about now. Thanks very much for tuning in. So Ryan said, Jamaica have a good team, but the coach not good enough. So Ryan, you're suggesting, if you're still here, right? Yeah, you're still here. You're suggesting you guys going for a more quality manager, where if you look around the world, you could probably find a better manager than Theodore Whitmore, who maybe you could afford. But what if Jamaica does not want to take that route? And I know you guys have discussed on many occasions on your channel and the other Jamaican channels that if another manager comes in, the JFF might actually lose that control. You see what I'm saying? That they want to have that stronghold over the decision-making aspects around the team. And maybe that's why Jamaica, they're reluctant to actually go in for a foreign manager and, ditch Tapper Whitmore, because Tapper Whitmore might be a little puppet, you know what I'm saying? Where he's come through the national team system. That's like his second stint and all. And, you know what I mean? It's a job. It's a career for him. He would want to keep his job. You see what I mean? He would definitely want to keep his job. So you're going to do as many yes men thing as possible to just stay in the job. And another manager may not take that. So maybe that's why. Maybe that is why they're reluctant. I don't think, 7 games through, halfway through, if Jamaica haven't sacked Tapper Whitmore yet, sacking him now ain't gonna be much of a difference. Do you guys agree with me? Sacking him now ain't gonna change nothing. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So, look, we have Carl Edward is saying, I don't see Martino really feeling it. Also, he is very hyped. Totally opposite of how Osorio, when Little Mistake was okay. Dr. Negative. What else we got in terms of comment, man? Big up to everybody in the stream. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. We got 41 thumbs up, guys. We need 9 more to hit 50. We got 70 people in the live stream. We should be 50 thumbs up already, okay? All right, big up to my boy UN. I don't know why. This is a weird name, bro. This is a weird name, bro. How do you say this name, bro? UNLNRG. Why do I have to call out every letter? Big up to the boy Betel Kebede. You know what I mean? In the house. Philip M. I heard VAR is not being used in CONCACAF qualifying because the poorer countries don't have the technologies. And yeah, that is true. That is true. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks. Keep up the good work as well. See you grinding, doing your thing. So, yeah. We're going to continue here. We're going to continue. I have predictions. I got predictions for the games coming up. All right. Let's go. Let us go. Predictions for the match coming up for November 16th. All right. Let's go. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Predictions. All right. Jamaica versus. All right. Let me go that over. Let me go that over. CONCACAF 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Match day 8. We're halfway done with the octagonal. Now we have 7 games to go. The reverse fixtures, where Jamaica take on the USA, Panama take on El Salvador, Costa Rica take on Honduras, and Canada will host Mexico. This is what the table looks like right now. We got the USA at the top with 14 points, Mexico with 14 points, with the USA better goal difference beating Mexico on the last match day. Canada, the third after that victory against Costa Rica. They have 13 points. Panama, a fourth. What a come from behind victory against Honduras to put them in a very, very good position. If they had lost the game to Honduras, 8 points right now, yeah, it would have been a bit behind. You see what I'm saying? But they're in a very good position right now in fourth. That's a playoff spot. Costa Rica losing to Canada on the road, 6 points. Jamaica in sixth. They drew on the road to El Salvador. I think that was a great, great result. But most of the Jamaican fans don't think so, though. But I do think so. They have 6 points. El Salvador, 7th, also 6 points. Good come from behind draw against Jamaica to keep their World Cup hopes alive. But Honduras down in 8th, even with a managerial change, sacking Fabian Coito, bringing in Hernan Dario Gomez. Seems like the same problems are still there. They're yet to pick up a win, being the only team yet to win in the octagonal. Canada being the only unbeaten team in the octagonal as well. The other end of the spectrum. So let's talk about the games coming up for Tuesday, November 16th. Let's start it off with the game between Costa Rica and Honduras. The last time these two teams met, they played to a 0-0 draw. Look, neither one of these teams have improved, in my opinion. Look at where they are in the table. Costa Rica, they're 5 points behind Panama. Costa Rica 5th right now. And only W's are going to save their World Cup qualifying campaign. I think Luis Fernando Suarez is under a lot of pressure. And I don't know if sacking him would actually make a change. But let's say he don't start winning games. I think he might just get the sack and they might try someone else for the final 6 games that's coming up in 2022. And to just try to see if a change at the helm could actually work in their favor. As for Honduras, look, the results haven't been good. They haven't been scoring goals. And the same goes for Costa Rica. The problems for these two Central American nations who does have World Cup pedigree in the past, they're not scoring enough goals. And they're also not keeping the goals out the back of their net. Costa Rica with the Keylor Navas unavailability, he got injured the last time and, you know, he's always very inconsistent in terms of his appearances for Costa Rica. Honduras bouncing back there, 2 goals up against Panama and they had a meltdown. They need to weed that out of their game. And these two teams are so similar right now in what they've done and the path they're taking in CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. And I think they're going to cancel each other out. They're like a match made in heaven right now. A 1-1 draw. A 1-1 draw. It would be very important for one of these teams, especially Honduras, to get a win. Because if they don't win this one, they could kiss the World Cup goodbye. For Costa Rica, if they manage to pick up a win, best believe they are back in contention because 9 points. Let's say Panama does drop points to El Salvador. Let's say they lose. El Salvador would be in touching distance of Panama. Costa Rica in touching distance of Panama as well. So it's important. It's imperative that Costa Rica get a win. It's also imperative that Honduras get a win. Neither one of these teams could afford to slip up. A draw would also be good for Costa Rica. Better than a loss, but a loss or a draw for Honduras, it really, you know, would spell the end of their World Cup qualifiers campaign. Because the other teams that's, you know, 4th to 1st in the table, trust me and best believe they will pick up over 10 points in their last remaining 7 games. and that means that Honduras won't be able to get into the playoff spot. So my prediction for Costa Rica versus Honduras, a 1-1 draw. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the next game. Panama versus El Salvador here. So, look, the last time these two teams met, El Salvador won 1-0 against a Panamanian team who I had so much praises for back in September, and it kind of flunked out in October though. But they bounced back really well with that win, come from behind win against Honduras. And El Salvador are keeping themselves in contention where we thought they would have been at the bottom of the table. They're not. Honduras are. They are in 7th place. They're on 6 points with Costa Rica and Jamaica. So they're still pretty much fighting. And 3 points here against Panama, the team that they could catch up to the quickest on 11 points right now. It's imperative they get a win and do the double over Panama. But it's going to be very, very difficult on Panamanian soil here, in my opinion. Thomas Christensen has his Panamanian team playing some good football. We saw what they did. They have to, however, not switch off in the early stages of the game and allow these goals to be scored. And they don't want to have to be fighting back from 2-0 down. El Salvador type of team under Hugo Perez that's not going to sit back. They're going to play positive, and they're going to take the game to the opponent. If they need to sit back, they also know how to sit back here. But I think Panama at home hold the aces. They have the advantage here. They should be pumped up from that come from behind win against Honduras. And El Salvador, I think, are going to have their work cut out for them here on the road. I'm going for Panama to win this game. I'm going for a 2-1 win. I think it's not going to be a pushover, walk in the park for El Salvador, for Panama. But I'm going to go for Panama to, however, come out on top, get their revenge against El Salvador, and win the game 2-1. So we do have 2 more games to predict. Jamaica versus the USA, Canada versus Mexico. Let's talk about Jamaica hosting the USA here. The Jamaican fans would be allowed to be at the stadium this time around, and not in their full capacity, if I can recall, but you know, they will have some fans. I might be wrong, don't quote me on that. I'm not Jamaican, by the way. I might have an accent, but I'm not Jamaican. I'm from St. Vincent. So Jamaica versus the USA, they need to bounce back after that 2-0 loss. Jamaica at home, 2 matches, 1 point. They drew to Canada, but they lost against Panama. Could they actually pick up something at home against the USA here? This is going to be very, very difficult. But we know it's possible. This is Greg Berhalter we're talking about. This is Greg Berhalter after a Mexican game where he will look to rest players. He will look to rotate his team. You see what I mean? And I don't trust Greg Berhalter whatsoever. I just don't trust this man. I don't know what it is, but I just don't trust this man. This game you might think this game is a straightforward one to predict, but this game is a very, very difficult game to predict though. It's very difficult to predict. The USA, they don't have very good memories of the Caribbean. Last time they went to Trinidad and Tobago, you know what happened. You see what I'm saying? Jamaica, also a very difficult team to predict these days. The Jamaican fans don't want Tapper Whitmore to stay in charge of the team, but I think that Tapper Whitmore has done a great job over the last 5 games. You see what I mean? And with this game coming up here against the USA, could Jamaica get something? A similar result like they get against Canada. Could they get something here against the USA? Remember, guys, I did predict Jamaica to beat El Salvador. They failed to do so. They got a draw. Could they actually beat the USA to pick up their first home win? You know they say you got to win your home games. If you win your home games, listen, job pretty much done. 21 home points available. You pick up 21 and a couple on the road, you're going to Qatar. But if you don't pick up the points at home, It's not going to work out. It's really not going to work out. Because you're not going to get 7 wins on the road. Jamaica versus USA. Jamaica versus Mexico. Those are the next 2 fixtures. They absolutely have to win one of these games. At least win one or stay unbeaten, get 4 points to stay in touch and distance of these teams that's in the qualifying places and in the playoff place. All right? It's very, very important. It's a hard decision to make, seeing that I'm from the Caribbean as well. But I think the USA are going to win this game 2-1. I just like what I seen from the USA. And barring a dumb selection by Greg Berhalter where he might put Tyler Adams to play at right back, or he might put Pepe in the midfield, and he might, you know what I'm saying? He does things like that. This is Greg Berhalter we're talking about. This is Greg. I think Tapper Whitmore is going to put out his best 11, his fittest 11, and he's going to, him and the Jamaican team, they're going to give it everything they got. But for the USA, I can't put my money on that. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Greg has woke up. Maybe the Panamanian loss woke them up, and they're saying, hey, man, we're not going to tinker too much, and we're going to get our act together, and we are going to, you know, win. We're going to win every game from now on. Winning against Mexico, it's hard to predict against the USA after win against Mexico. But as I mentioned, it's Greg Berhalter we're talking about. So look, Jamaica, I think they haven't been keeping out they haven't been so good in the final third. They're defensive third, in my opinion. I should say. Andre Blake is left with too much to do. Way too much to do. And I think he's going to have a lot to do in the game. Jamaica got to take their chances whenever the opportunity presents itself. But I think the USA are going to be too much under. They're 2-1. And that brings us to the final match, guys. Canada versus Mexico. It's on Canadian soil. It's going to be in Edmonton. Very cold conditions. Mexico is in a cold place. I know a few of these guys do play in Europe and they're used to the cold and they may be acclimatized to those type of conditions, and also it might not really matter. But trust me, it will matter, man. It will matter. Because nobody likes to be in Canada in the winter. Trust me, I know this. I've been to Canada about 4 times and I know how cold it gets. I know how cold. I do not want. I promised myself never to go to Canada in the winter. I might just go to Canada in the winter again, but still. You know, it is cold. It gets cold. I don't trust this Mexican team anymore. I've been predicting positive results for Mexico, but I don't. I even predicted them to beat the USA. But I don't trust this Mexican team anymore, man. Seriously. I don't. And their form on the road, they have dropped some points on the road, right? They dropped points in Panama, and they dropped points in the USA. They even dropped points at home to Canada. That's how unpredictable this Mexican team has been. I don't think they're playing to full potential. They're not at optimum levels. Is this the best Mexican team? I don't even think so. I think Tata, Martino does not know his best 11. You could even go as far as to say he doesn't even know what he's doing right now. Seriously. Because how Mexico get played off the park against the USA like that, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. Seriously. Like Mexico just doesn't get outplayed like that in CONCACAF. But how they get outplayed on 3 different occasions against the USA, something has to change. Tata Martino might have to get the sack or something. Because you're coming up against a very talented Canadian team here. If not the most talented team in CONCACAF right now. Maybe the USA would give them a run for their money. But not even the USA could beat Canada these days. When you have Alphonso Davies and David and Estacio and Larin, and you have Mark Anthony Kay to deal with, and you have Larea and Adekudbe on the wings to deal with, and you have the veterans like, Vittoria, Osario, you have Atiba Hutchinson to deal with, This Canadian team is hard to stop. You have the youthful vigor of a Tajon Buchanan to deal with. Mexico, how could Mexico deal with this on Canadian soil? This field isn't the best field for passing the ball on the ground as well. That field was very bumpy. It's being used for football. You could see the football lines on the field and everything. And it's not gonna be very, very pretty. It's not gonna be pretty for Mexico here. I don't think Mexico are winning this game. I think Mexico are actually gonna lose this game 2-1. Canada beating Mexico. Canada beating Mexico. Canada are beating Mexico. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm going to put my money on Canada because I'm damn sure not going to put any money on this Mexican team. Seriously. Raul Jimenez hardly involved last night. Hardly. You're going to have guys like Guardado and all these guys in the team and you're not using them. You see what I'm saying? Talk about the youngsters. You got to use them. You got to use the players that's in form right now. If the trusted bunch ain't working, you got to use you got to do something else. I think Guillermo Ochoa is facing way too many shots every single game. This guy is just, facing so many shots. And I think if it wasn't for him on a few occasions, that Mexico would have been in a worse position that they are in right now. We could see 2014 happening all over again where Mexico is struggling to get a World Cup spot, right? We got to talk about that one, right? We got to talk about that one because, look, if Mexico lose this game, Canada now jumps ahead of Mexico. Canada jumps ahead of Mexico. Panama win their game, they could jump ahead of Mexico on goal difference as well, according to how bad Mexico lose if they do lose. Mexico could find themselves in 4th position. They definitely can. As I said, the top 4 spots is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a fight up there. And let's see how it plays out come next Tuesday. It's going to be fun. But these are my predictions. Canada to beat Mexico 2-1. That's a gutsy prediction, but you got to have guts. You got to have balls in this industry. Costa Rica, Honduras 1-1. Panama to beat El Salvador 2-0. And the USA to beat Jamaica 2-1. Share your predictions. Don't be afraid. Have some balls. All right? May the best teams win. All the best. Good luck. All right, guys. That's my predictions for CONCACAF. Sorry I didn't interact with you guys in the chat, but thanks for John Burns for dropping $5 super chat here. He says John Herdman has the Canadian men's team playing very well. Greg Burkhalter might prove to be crazy like a fox with his coaching choices. Yeah, Burkhalter is very unpredictable, man, while John Herdman is a bit more level-headed, and you know what I mean, he'll stick to the script more. He'll have a script and he'll stick to it, while Berhalter, he changes up too many things, man, in my opinion. Way too many changes. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for making your predictions. And we have Goran, big up to Goran 1-1. Ugbo, yeah, Ugbo looks good in his little cameo there, but I'm not going to talk about him like off the top because he's a new player in the team and I'm not too familiar with him. You see what I mean? So, yeah, what else we got here? Atlas, Canada is dangerous with Davies. USA have a really good bench and upcoming players. Mexico have great youngsters too, just that Tata Martino is doing what he did with his other teams he managed. All right, so Sydney, the way things are going for Canada and Honduras, reckon it's possible that Canada can avenge that infamous loss in San Pedro Sula a while back. Canada definitely are not a team you want to play right now. They're not a team you want to play right now. Let's just put it out there. So, look, John Burns is saying, I want Canada to beat Mexico as Panama scares me. I don't think Canada is scared of any team. Canada's strength is going to be their home games. Canada's going to be, very strong at home. And when they travel, they're going to play the pragmatic style of football like they did when they went to Mexico, when they went to Jamaica, and when they went to they got another draw. Mexico, Jamaica, and they got another draw. They also have a home draw, but they have another draw. I can't quite let me see. They have 4 draws. Let me get that for you right now. Canada's draws. They have another draw. Mexico on the road, Jamaica on the road, USA on the road. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much on. Yeah, USA on the road, and they did draw against Honduras at home. So Canada on their travels, they look to be more pragmatic, as I mentioned, and at home they're gonna destroy teams. 4-1 against Panama, 1-0 against Costa Rica, 3-0 against El Salvador. 3 wins, all came at home, barring the draw. They did draw against Honduras at home. They could have actually, done a lot better there, but, it is what it is. But the Canadian team, definitely a team to watch, man. Definitely a team to watch. And since we're talking about Canada there, right? The game's coming up. Honduras on the road, January 27th. The home game against USA. They're going to be very difficult to beat. The away game in El Salvador coming in. Those 2 games, I think, are going to determine Canada's, it could actually decide Canada's World Cup qualifiers. If they pick up wins in those games, I don't know if they'll manage to do that. But those games that's coming up in January and February, if Canada managed to get at least 7 points from those games, or let's say 5, and beat Mexico, that's it. They qualify for the World Cup. Or let's say they get 1 point against Mexico, 1 against Honduras, 1 against the USA, 3 against El Salvador. It's still good. It is still good. As long as they don't lose their games. As long as they don't lose. But the final game for Canada would be against Panama and Jamaica. By then, who knows? Jamaica, that might be a game where Jamaica already, eliminated. And Panama, Canada could be scrapping it out for a playoff spot or one of those final places. So that'll do it for CONCACAF. Let's talk briefly about Conmebol. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time. I just want to update on Conmebol, and then we'll move on. We have a lot more to talk about, man. We got UEFA to touch on, and I have some predictions for Asia coming up. I'm doing the Asian predictions early today, all right? Took a nap in the afternoon. I'm off from work tomorrow. Tomorrow is Super Sunday. I have a few live stream watch-alongs I have to plan, so guys, look out for those ones coming up as well. So, yeah, man, yeah. So before we do get into Conmebol, you guys have some comments here. We have John Burns. 6 countries normally would have been in the 3rd round. Okay, yeah. You guys are talking about, okay. If everything went normally, Panama would have qualified. They're playing like they have nothing to lose. All right. Jia Zhang. If Panama gets playoff, they will have to hope to get New Zealand. I don't see them winning against Asians or Conmebol. You never know, man. It's a lottery, man. It's a lottery. It's very difficult. So, Pierre, remember a few months ago we talked about Canada's worst away? I am staying with what I said. The away games will tell the story for them to qualify. Yep, definitely. Kimmy, Conmebol is toughest continent to play in qualification. Yeah, you don't want to really play Conmebol in the intercontinental playoff, man. It's going to be very, very difficult. Very difficult. Look at New Zealand against Peru last time around. It's difficult. And Uruguay go through those playoffs a lot too. So, it's going to be very, very difficult. One of these days, we're going to go through all the intercontinental playoffs that has ever happened. I'm going to take some time and do like a research. Do all the research and gather all of that. Intercontinental playoffs has been going on for a very, very long time, where a lot of the African countries had to go through those to qualify back in the 70s, and even the Asian countries as well. There was even one time that the African countries pulled out of World Cup qualifiers altogether in protest because they just wanted justice. They wanted direct spots, and they said, we're not taking part in World Cup qualifiers if we have to do this, and we got to keep playing against Israel all the time. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they boycotted, and then they got what they wanted. All right, so let's start Conmebol really quick. We got one game that we didn't touch on, and we're gonna take a look at the table. Uruguay lost at home, 1-0 to Argentina. Messi didn't start the game. He did come on off the bench. But Angel Di Maria's goal separated the two teams. And Argentina pretty much one win away from qualifying for the World Cup. They already qualified for the World Cup, in my opinion. Someone did leave a comment, right? And they said, back in 2018, Argentina in all 18 games only ended up with 28 points. But now in 2022, for the 2022 World Cup, Argentina has 28 points, which is absolutely brilliant for Argentina, though. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So, yeah. Brazil on top of the table. They have officially qualified with 34 points, no losses yet. Argentina second after 12 games. They still have to play on the road against Brazil. They are pretty much through. 5 games left to play for Chile, Colombia, Uruguay, and they could only get a maximum of 15 points. So Argentina, if they win their game next week, they would officially qualify for the World Cup. And I think that's going to actually happen. I won't be making predictions today for those games. I should, but I'm not. I didn't plan to do that right now. So we're not going to get into that right about now. But in terms of the results, just to give a quick update on the results before we do move on. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to move on to the AFC predictions next, and then we talk UEFA, and then we call it a night. All right? It's a lot more to talk about. Few teams have qualified as well. France and Belgium have qualified for the World Cup as well, so we got to talk about those teams. So, match day 13, Ecuador 1, Venezuela 0, Paraguay 0, Chile 1, Brazil 1, Colombia 0, Peru 3, Bolivia 0, Argentina 1, Uruguay 0. Next Tuesday, we have Bolivia coming up against Uruguay. It's a must-win game for Uruguay, man. But it's going to be very tough in La Paz to get a victory. But don't put anything past Suarez and co. Venezuela will host Peru. They would fancy their chances of picking up another win in their quest to get a direct spot or even a playoff spot. And it's looking good for Peru right now. It's really looking good. Look at the table. And you see exactly what I'm talking about. You see exactly what I'm talking about. So, look, we're going to talk permutations as well. But let me just run through these fixtures. Colombia play Paraguay. It's a must-win game for Paraguay. Colombia need to win as well. Argentina will host Brazil next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. That's a huge game for the top two teams in the table, where both of them pretty much qualified. Argentina might have to actually wait for next time around, January, to actually qualify officially for the World Cup, as it's going to be very hard to beat Brazil. But who knows? It might just happen. And Chile play Ecuador in a match that could actually, decide each one of these teams' fate. Because if Ecuador pick up a win, it will put them in a very strong position in 23 points. Chile, it would put them in an even better position to qualify. So let's just run through the permutations really quick, right? Brazil through. Argentina play Brazil. That game might end in a draw. Or who knows, Argentina might just beat Brazil again, like they did in the Copa America. So Argentina, Brazil pretty much qualify, right? Let's just make that conclusion right now. Ecuador versus Chile. That game is a huge game. It's going to be in Chile. And look, it's going to be tough for Ecuador to beat this Chilean team right now, who are on the up. Wins in their last 3 games. These guys mean business. They're the most resurgent team in terms of World Cup qualifying right now. And they jump from down towards the bottom of the table straight into a freaking direct qualification spot. This is absolutely awesome for Chile. Their spirits would be up, their morale would be up, and they would come up against an Ecuadorian team that they would fancy their chances of beating, right? With the form that they are expressing right now. So Chile, let's say Chile pick up a win there, it would make things very close because they will go up to 19 points, one behind Ecuador. So Ecuador do have the cushion, but they can't play around too much. A win for Ecuador, however, would put them right up to 23 points, within touching distance of a direct spot to Qatar, where they would only need about 4 to 5 more points to qualify. A draw would be good for Ecuador as well. Not great for Chile, but not terrible. But we'll talk about this one when we cross that bridge. Look, Colombia, they need points, and for their game, they come up against Paraguay. Paraguay are in a position right now where if they lose with 4 games left, 12 points max to get, 24 points won't be enough. So it's do or die for Paraguay. If they lose this game here to Colombia, then they're out. They will be eliminated. They will definitely be eliminated, without a doubt. 24 points, it has never proven good enough to qualify directly, and it will be, a far-fetched, thought to even get a playoff spot for that one. So pretty much you could write off Paraguay there if they lose. And Colombia, back against the wall. They haven't been picking up some good results lately. They need a win. It will be on home soil for them, and they have to play out their skins and get a win. Look, Venezuela versus Peru. Peru are in a good position right now. Big win against Bolivia. When you play Bolivia and Venezuela, it's imperative that you get wins. They got the win against Bolivia. Could they do this again against Venezuela on the road? I'm pretty sure they got what it takes to make it happen. That would put them up to 17 points. That's a very good position for Peru to be in. And they would want to make it to back-to-back World Cup. So if they do win this game, which I think they would just win, they would go up. They would eliminate Venezuela officially. And they would go up to 17 points with 12 points available. And I think that would be, give them a good little task there to get at least a playoff spot. But the odds are stacked up against Peru right there. And for Uruguay against Bolivia, it's going to be tough getting a result in La Paz. But I think they got it. They're capable of doing it. And if they do so, they will eliminate Bolivia. And they would stay in the fight along with Colombia, Chile, Peru, Ecuador for that, last 2 direct spots on the playoff spot, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be Peru, Uruguay, Colombia, Chile, and Ecuador, with Paraguay, Bolivia, and Venezuela dropping out the race. So that's my update on Conmebol. Talk to me, guys. What are you guys saying in the chat right about now? Appreciate everybody who's still watching. We got to talk UEFA. We got to talk Asia as well. Talk to me. So let me see. Big up to the boy Dominic Rich F.C in the house, man, who says support in Jamaica, West Indies, and Manchester United is the most depressing thing I have ever done. Bro, let's not even talk about West Indies, bro. Let's not talk about West Indies. Horrible, man. Horrible in Test 1 days. Horrible in T20 these days. Harrison Cyril. Socceroos could stuff up again, but I'm hoping the boys will go through automatically. Yeah, that one is going to be very rough for Australia to do. And I'm going to be talking about AFC predictions for match day 6 that's coming up next week. I'm going to do this early. I'm going to clip it out and get it out for the folks that's interested in the AFC matches to take a look at. My track record when it comes to Asia, very, very good. The last time I got all my predictions right. Let's see if I could pull it off again. Let's see if I got what it takes to do that again. I think I back myself to do it, I think I backed myself to do it, and you don't want to be on the losing end of my predictions. All right, so thanks again, John Burns, who says, damn, according to the schedule, the Qatar draw will happen April 1st, 2022. The Confederation playoff matches won't happen until June. Fascinating. So April 1st, the draw for Qatar will happen, and oh man, for real? I thought I saw something about the draw though. I did run into something about the draw, but I don't think I saw anything in terms of the official draw. Let me see something. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that source for you. Draw. Let me see something. All right. So let me see something. If I find anything in terms of that. What I have for you though, and I should have actually talked about that already, is a European playoff draw. It will take place on November 26th. So that is something that I was supposed to actually talk about, and I will have to touch on that today. So let me just make note of that to talk about that one towards the end of the stream. Euro playoff draw. You know, November 26th, that's this month, 13 days. We will know the teams into the playoffs very soon. We'll know all the teams that's going to be in the playoffs. And the playoffs are going to have how many teams? There's going to be 3 playoff spots available, and there's going to be 12 teams in the playoffs. 12. 2 from the Nations League, and there's going to be 10 from the groups. So 12, 3 playoff paths, 4 teams in each path, and the 3 winners of each of the finals will actually qualify directly for Qatar 2022. So, look, that's Conmebol for you right there. Conmebol has been fun to talk about, but we're going to move on. But John Doe, where did you get that information? If you have a link to that, just drop it in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that, bro. Drop it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? April Fool, you mean? I did see something like that, you know. I did see something like that, though. Also, Oceania hasn't organized their schedule for matches. This could prove interesting if they can get things worked out. January 2022 draw. There is something on Oceania that we talked about. They haven't figured out their matches yet, but the tournament will be in Qatar. They will have a mini tournament in Qatar. So yeah, that one was announced already. I did talk about that. And thanks again for the super chat. Do appreciate that, man. Do appreciate that. Guys, don't forget, super chats go along with it, help support the channel. So, you know, thanks again to all the people who drop super chats during the live streams. All right, so let me get something on the Oceania thing really quick before we move on. There was official news. All right, so there was official news on the FIFA website as well. Let me just change my thing and get that back. All right, let me just do a quick search, and I'll get the information for those of you guys who don't know. Oceania World Cup qualifiers. It will be the tournament held exclusively in Qatar. All right, so let me get that for you guys. Yeah. All right, I got it. Got it for you. And all right, let me just share that with you before we move on. Let's touch on Oceania really quick. Let's talk Oceania, and let's go. All right, this is the Oceania Football Confederation website, and it says OFC update on FIFA World Cup 2022 Oceania qualifiers. This was September 16th. Okay, Savannah Tafu Levy with the article. In response to logistical challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, Oceania Confederation is exploring the opportunity to play the FIFA World Cup Qatar to play the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 Oceania qualifiers in Qatar early next year. On September 15th, agreement was reached by the OFC Executive Committee that it was not possible at this time to organize a qualifying competition within the Oceania region. Following prior extensive discussions between OFC, AFC, and FIFA, the OFC Executive Committee approved that the FIFA World Cup qualifiers for Oceania will be played in Qatar in March of 2022, pending further FIFA approval. It was approved by FIFA, guys. So the tournament will be held in March of 2022, exclusively in Qatar, where all the teams will travel there and they will go through whatever tournament they're going to play. We don't have no information on that tournament just yet. We're on the Oceania website. Let's click the news section and see if there's any updates. So Oceania officials build towards 2022 at FIFA referees workshop in Qatar. So 4 officials from Oceania were selected to attend the FIFA referees workshop between November 1st and 5th in Doha, Qatar, as part of preparations for FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. All right. So there's a few job vacancies and things like that. And, you know what I mean? There's just been some updates on what's going on. New Caledonia, you know, this guy that plays for that club was at the Club World Cup recently. And that's just pretty much it, man. Pretty much it that's going on in Oceania right now. And Oceania Referees Academy Program returns football firms to face Korea Republic. That's the women's stuff. And you see, it's just, you know, nothing on the World Cup qualifiers. Nothing else. Gambia confirmed as next opponent for New Zealand's men. The New Zealand's men's team's been, you know, playing some friendlies as well. Not going to get too deep into that. But that's what's been going on in Oceania, man. You have the Cook Islands, New Caledonia, Solomon Islands, Samoa. You have New Zealand, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, and all these countries, man. You know, Vanuatu, all these countries are going to be taking part in the competition. So, look, I'm going back to October. That's pretty much it in terms of the, you know, the updates on Oceania. Not the most popular confederation, but, you know, it's very necessary to touch on Oceania as well. So, big up to everybody in here, man. How you guys feeling? Let's move on. And let's talk about the OFC. Let's talk about the OFC. Let me just, you know, go back. Not the OFC, but the AFC. The AFC. I'm going to make my predictions for AFC now for next week, so I could get those out early and get that out the way. All right. Let's go. We're in round 3 right now, where Australia, China, Iran, Iraq, Japan, Korea Republic, Lebanon, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Syria, the UAE, Vietnam, all fight for 4 direct spots in 2 groups of 6, and the third place teams from each group would then move on to the 4th round, and the winner would move into the Interconfederation playoffs. So, look, before we do get into the next set of games, which will be match day 6, let's just recap what happened on match day 5, take a look at the respective tables, and then we'll predict the games that's coming up next week. Australia and Saudi Arabia played to a 0-0 draw, while South Korea beat the United Arab Emirates a 1-0. Vietnam lost a 1-0 to Japan. Iran beat Lebanon in extra time 2-1. China and Oman played to a 1-1 draw, while Iraq and Syria also played to a 1-1 draw. After those games, this is how the tables look. Iran on top of the table, halfway through their World Cup qualifying matches there on 13 points. They're running away with the group, still unbeaten. Korea Republic are second with 11 points, and these 2 teams look like the favorites to take those 2 direct spots for Qatar 2022. As for the third place team to go into the playoffs, Lebanon currently occupy that spot in 3rd. Iraq are in 4th. UAE are in fifth with 3 points, and Syria at the bottom with 2 points. Remember, Syria played Australia in that fourth round playoff last time around, and Australia went on to the Intercontinental Playoff to play against Honduras, where they did defeat them to qualify for the 2018 World Cup. So in terms of Group B, this is what Group B looks like. Saudi Arabia are running away with the group with 13 points, but they don't want to be too complacent. They would want to keep picking up those wins or just keep picking up points, because Australia, who are occupying that second direct spot, are right behind them, just a win away. And if Saudi Arabia drop points, then it could get very close. It's very tense for those spots because Japan have been resurgent after losing 2 matches. They bounced back very, very well. They are 9 points, only 1 point behind Australia. So they could drag Australia back into that playoff spot, and they could go into that direct qualification spot where most of us thought Japan would be anyways. Oman, they're not a team to take lightly. They're also vying for that direct spot as well. They have 7 points, and it's very close in Group B, where China could only be a win or 2 away from vying for even a playoff spot. But Vietnam looks doomed as they have lost all 5 of their first set of games in the group. So let's talk about match day 6 fixtures. The second half of games coming up here in this group. And let's go. And I'll let you know how I think my predictions would actually reflect on the table as well. So it's crunch time. We're getting into that time where, yeah, you know, you got to start picking up wins if you haven't yet been doing so. And, you know, if you're winning, just keep winning. So let me get those games on the screen there. That's coming up. There's 6 games coming up. The screen can't hold all the games, but let's start with the Group A matches. Iraq versus Korea Republic. The first match was a 0-0 draw on Korean soil. That was a great achievement for Iraq, but this game will be played on neutral ground in Qatar at the Al Gharafa Stadium. And I'm fancying South Korea to get the job done here and not joke around with Iraq this time around, even though Iraq has been a gritty team. But I think Korea Republic are going to continue, you know, holding on to what they have in terms of their second place spot. Or who knows, even go up to first if Iran, you know, messes up. But I'm going for Korea Republic to win this game by a narrow margin, though. A 1-0 like they did in their last game against the UAE. So a 0-0 for Korea Republic. Iraq, they're not a pushover, but I just don't think they got what it takes to beat Korea Republic. If they do go on to do so, kudos to them. If they do go on to get a point, kudos to them. But Korea Republic currently on the Palo Bento with the likes of Hunming Son and Hwang Hee-chan in very, very good form. I'm not going to attempt to name drop the Korean Republic players because a lot of them got similar names, and I'm not going to do that to myself right now. But Iraq, you know what I mean? They got to pick up wins if they are to actually challenge for even a playoff spot. But final decision, Korea Republic win the game, and they, you know, continue holding on to that direct spot for World Cup 2022 in Qatar. So look, for Korea Republic, this is a very tough group, man. This is a Western Asian group, and they are an Eastern Asian country. A lot of travel to Qatar, got to travel to Iran. You know what I'm saying? Iraq and Syria are playing games on neutral ground, but still, they're playing in the Middle East. So it's South Korea against the Middle East here. Are they going to actually withstand the test? I think they will. I definitely think they will. They have been very consistent in terms of qualifying for the World Cup, and I think they're going to make another trip to the grand event. So they will go up to 14 points with this win. For Iraq, they would stay on 4 points, guys. Look, Iraq have picked up draws in 4 of their first 5 matches, which is absolutely brilliant, you know. They're not a pushover. They're really not a pushover. But I think, you know, Korea Republic are going to get the better of them, though, this time around. So, which brings us to the next game. The next game, Lebanon versus the UAE. These are teams that's going to want to pick up a 3-pointer here. Lebanon, very impressive. I've been saying for the longest while, I don't think Lebanon deserved to be in this, the final round here, the third round, because they kind of lucked out because North Korea pulled out and it messed up the results of the weaker teams in the various groups, and Lebanon came through. But you know what? Let's just say they deserve it. Let's give it to them. They deserved it. They deserve it. Let me stop saying they don't deserve it. They deserve to be where they're at right now because they've came into qualifiers here in the third round and they put up a very, very good showing. They picked up a win. They got 2 draws. They have 5 points. They're holding on to that playoff spot. And I think they're going to continue doing well. I think they earn a draw against a very lackluster UAE team. Been mixing up these letters. UAE, the United Arab Emirates, who, are yet to win a game. And I don't think they're going to win this one. Lebanon have proven to be very gritty. The Cedars have proven to be very, very gritty here. And I think they're going to pick up yet another point. They're going to go up to 6 points. Even though that won't help them in terms of qualifying directly, I think they could really push for that playoff spot and fancy their chances of becoming maybe the only debutant at Qatar 2022, or maybe one of few debutants. So 1-1, not impressed with the UAE at all, but they go up to 4 points. In my opinion, Lebanon go up to 6. And the last game in Group A here, Syria versus Iran. The last game between these two teams ended in a 1-0 win for Iran. Narrow win. Look, Syria has some serious talent in terms of Omar Soma, Omar Kabin, and they are a threat to any team. They're really a threat to any team. The last time Syria, the last match they played where they picked up a 1-1 draw against Iraq, I failed to mention the goal scorers in that game. Omar Soma in the 79th minute and Amir Al-Amari in the 86th minute from the penalty spot gave Iraq the point coming from behind there. So Syria, they're ruined, dropping points from that winning position there, if you ask me. They would want to bounce back here against Iran, but it's not going to be very, very, very easy. This Iranian team here, they have proven to be the best team in the group as of now. And even South Korea are behind them. But if Syria managed to get something, it could keep their World Cup hopes alive in terms of that playoff spot. I think I predicted Syria to get that playoff spot, but it's not looking likely right about now. So I'm going for Dragan Skokic and his boys from the Islamic Republic of Iran to pick up yet another 2-1 win. It was a struggle against Lebanon. It took them until the final 5 minutes of extra time to get the winners here. So we might see a similar game. We might see a very, very dramatic game because, look, we know, as I mentioned, Syria are not pushovers, but they got to manage teams a lot better, though. Really got to manage games a lot better. Because, you go to all the 2-3 loss against Lebanon. You see what I'm saying? They did come back in the game, but still, you know what I'm saying? They just been flunking in terms of the game management. Really have. If you look at the game against South Korea, they equalized, but they allowed South Korea to come with the winner as well. So, Syria, man, that's just the story of their World Cup qualifier so far. And they got to do a lot better. But it has been very close in Asia, I must say. 2-1 to Iran. Those are my predictions for Group A, which takes us into Group B. Let's start with the first game in Group B here between Vietnam and Saudi Arabia. Last time around, Saudi Arabia came from behind to beat Vietnam 3-1. Brilliant goal there by Win Kung Hai. That was a really good goal. And I did run into a meme that says Win is a very, talented player. But there's like 4 of them, 4, 6, 7, 8 of them. The whole team is wins. You know what I'm saying? But they haven't been winning any game. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's the name that's spelled NG, new N, but it's actually pronounced win. So, look, it's a great achievement for Vietnam to get to this final stage. I think this is the first time they got to this stage of World Cup qualifiers, if you ask me, if I'm not mistaken. But they're out of their depth. And I'm going to go for Saudi Arabia to beat them 2-0 and to keep their stronghold on the top of the proceedings there in Group B and go up to 16 points. That might just be enough to get to Qatar, if you ask me. So, look, Saudi Arabia, I'm ashamed of saying this, but I did not predict Saudi Arabia to qualify for the World Cup. But Hervé Renard has these guys playing well. You feel me? And I've been very, very impressed with Saudi Arabia. So, the Falcons, I think they'll make it to Qatar. I think they will. I have to, suck it up and admit it. I think they will make it to Qatar. And when you come up against Vietnam, you'll go up to 16 points. You have Australia, Japan, and Oman scrapping it out of the group. It all works out for the better of Saudi Arabia, if you ask me. So, 2-0 to Saudi Arabia over Vietnam. Vietnam, with that result, will be not officially eliminated, but they won't be able to get the top spot. And let's say Australia gets 3 points against China, then Vietnam won't be able to qualify directly. And let's say Japan does go on to, beat Oman, then Vietnam will be eliminated from World Cup qualifiers. So let's just keep that in mind for Vietnam. We go on to the next game, guys. China versus Australia. Last time around, Australia beat China 3-0. This game will be played in Qatar. So it's not like if China are at home or anything, it's going to be... No, this is actually in UAE. This is in the United Arab Emirates, pardon me. Sorry for that mistake, but same conditions in the Middle East, right? And I think Australia are going to get the better of China again. It was good on Australia to get a draw, a 0-0 draw against Saudi Arabia. That was a great, great achievement seeing that with Saudi Arabia playing. Not a good result against Japan, so Australia has to bounce back. Last 2 results, not so favorable. 2-1 loss to Japan, 0-0 draw against Saudi Arabia. Against China, pardon me, they got to bounce back. And I'm going for Australia to win the game 3-1. They will let in a goal, but I think they will come out on top against this Chinese team who, you know what I mean, they're just making up numbers right now. Seriously. Sorry to say, but they are. You know what I mean? The whole Chinese Super League project failed. Pumped a lot of money into the football. Hasn't worked out. They even got a few Brazilian players out of it, but have not worked out at all. Maybe for 2026 China, keep the project going. You know what I mean? Stay positive. Maybe you'll make it to the World Cup again. But I'm going to go for Australia to win the game. And with that win, Australia would go up to 13 points. They would stay ahead of Japan. And who knows, it might take the game between Australia and Japan to separate the 2 AFC teams that both made it to the World Cup back in 2018. So it brings us to the final game here, and it's the match between Japan and Oman. We got that game right here. Japan versus Oman. Last time around, Oman shocked Japan on Japanese soil to pick up a very good 1-0 win. That was the first time they ever beat Japan, if I'm not mistaken, though. Don't quote me on that, but that was a great result, man. That was a great result indeed. Could they do the double over Japan? If Oman managed to do the double over Japan, everybody in the world would be saying, oh man, jeez, Oman just did the... Yeah, that was a dry joke, but still. Anyway, that's a dad joke, right, guys? I have 3 kids. I'm a dad. You know what I'm saying? So I do drop dad jokes. But Oman, jeez, man. Oman has been doing well. They looking good in the group. They got 7 points, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. Could they get something out of this game to keep the group very, very interesting? Guys, Japan, after, you know, they lost 2 games, losing to Saudi Arabia narrowly and losing narrowly to Oman. They got to absolutely win this game. They have not been convincing. Not against China, not against Australia, not against Vietnam, even though they won those matches. Against Oman, they got to bounce back. Absolutely got to bounce back. This game will be on the road in Oman, in Muscat, and it's going to be a challenge. I like what I saw from Minamino the last game. He's going to be a threat if available, of course. They have a lot of good players. We know that. We know that of Japan. Moriyasu and his team, they got to really, really stay switched on here, or their World Cup qualifying campaign could end up in a disaster. Players got to step up. They got to step up. They got to step up. Tomiyasu, Yoshida, you got to be tight at the back. Gonda, you got to be tight at the back. But Eto, Osako, whoever starts up top, if it's, you know, whoever you want to use, man. There's too many names, man. If it's Furuhashi, who's been doing well for Celtic, if it's Asano, whoever gets the chance up top, they got to step their game up and they got to pick up a win. I'm going for Japan to win the game. A narrow 2-1 win. Maybe even a win from behind. But it's going to be a tense one. All these games are going to be very close, with the exception of the Vietnam-Saudi Arabia match, in my opinion. So, if my predictions happen to, you know, go the way I said it would go, like the last time, the table would remain the same. And let's just take a quick look at the table before we end these predictions. Saudi Arabia would remain on top. Australia would stay second. Japan would stay third. Oman would remain fourth, China fifth, and Vietnam would stay last. So that's it for my match day 6 predictions for the AFC World Cup qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Let me know yours in the comments. Appreciate it. So that's it, guys, for AFC. Thank you very much for dealing, you know, with those, with me talking for so long. Appreciate it, man. And thanks again to John Burns. John Burns, oh my God. Yeah, I know you sent the super chat earlier, but I didn't want to stop what I was doing. So definitely appreciate that. So the link above and dates, information for World Cup playoffs. All right, thank you very much. I'll definitely check that out right now. So let me see. The link is above. Let me see. See above. All right. Big up to Highbury 10 in the house. I don't know if you're still here. But yeah, I don't see no link, bro. I don't see no links. Links might be hidden. Links might get hidden. I don't know. I'm scrolling up. I still don't see no links. I still don't see no link, bro. Drop the link again. Link me again, bro. Link me. Link me again. Drop the link again. I don't see no links. Drop the links. Guys, we got to talk Europe, man. You got some big games. All right. This is not actually coming out as a link, you know. This is not coming out as a link, John. This is not a clickable link. All right. I can't click this. Can't click this. But let me just do a quick Google search for that one. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the super chats, bro. You know what I mean? Says, I posted a link about the April World Cup draw. You asked for it. Hope you can find it. All right, let me go. Let me click and find it, though. World Cup draw. I didn't run into any article yet, though. That's why. So, the draw. Okay. All right. It came out 1 day ago. That's why. 1 day ago. 1 day ago. So let's get into that. Let's get into that before we move on to Europe. Let's go. Goal.com. This is the website I used to go on like every day, but I don't anymore. I don't go on the website every day anymore. So let's talk. World Cup 2022 group stage draw, when it is, teams, and how to watch. All right, we got some information on the 2022 World Cup draw, courtesy of John Burns. Thank you very much, John Burns, for enlightening us on that one. All right, so yeah, Goal brings you all the details about the tournament draw, including when it takes place and more. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world, and the upcoming tournament will be held in Qatar in 2022. Some of the best international teams on the planet will be taking part, meaning some of the game's biggest names will be strutting their stuff on the global stage. Before it all happens, the group stage draw must take place. So when is it and how can you watch it? Goal has all the details. All right, let's take a look. When is the World Cup 2022 draw? The group stage draw for the World Cup 2022 will be held on April 1st, 2022. That's on April Fool's Day. Wow. Wow. Could you imagine drawing some of the best teams in the world and think it's an April Fool's joke? Yeah, it won't be a joke though. I don't know why they chose to put it on April 1st. Why couldn't you do like April 2nd or 3rd or whatever? I don't know which day it's going to be held, but still though. Still. With the tournament beginning on November 21st, that means teams will have just over 7 months to get ready for their opponents and to fine-tune their preparations. Where will the World Cup 2022 draw take place? The draw will be held in Doha, Qatar, and it will coincide with the 72nd FIFA Congress, which is taking place in the city a day beforehand. Doha is the capital of Qatar and has a population of just over 2 million people. It will host a number of World Cup games and no stranger to staging football events, having hosted the World Youth Championship in 1995, along with the Asian Cup in 1988 and 2011. Brazil have qualified for the 2022 World Cup. They're dancing to Qatar. Which teams are in the World Cup draw? A total of 32 teams will be in the hat for the World Cup 2022 group stage draw. At the time of the draw, 30 teams will be confirmed, with the remaining two winners of the interconfederation, intercontinental or interconfederation playoff, whichever one you want to use, being finalized afterwards. Qatar qualified automatically as hosts, while European teams Germany and Denmark are among the first to book their place at the competition, where France and Belgium have joined them already. Brazil were the first South American qualifier. The full list of qualified teams will be added here once confirmed. How to watch the draw? FIFA will be live streaming the draw on all its platforms, including official site, YouTube, and social media networks. Goal will bring you live coverage of the draw as it happens, and you will be able to follow on our website and through the Goal app. The World Cup group stage will be one of the most anticipated events in the football calendar, so it will be covered on all major sports news channels. Guys, it will be covered here as well, like I did back in 2018. A preview and a review and a live stream for every single day, every single match. I'll be, coming with stuff. So just remember, this is the place to be, not the TV. Because the TV, they have to clean up their act. They can't say whatever they want to say. I can say whatever the hell I want to say here. So, when does the World Cup start? The World Cup starts on November 18th. Well, it starts on... What? It starts November 18th and will... I thought they said the World... Doesn't the World Cup start November 22nd? November 21st? But that's enough reading, though. That's enough reading. So... Let's just do a, why is, it's not, I don't think it's November 18th though. maybe warm up. I don't think 2022 World Cup. Jeez, man, I hate these sites sometimes. So, November 21st. God, you just said November. Who write these things? You just said November freaking 21st up top, and you come in to tell me November 18th down here? God damn. Can't believe everything you read, guys. Remember that. Remember that. So it will start on the 21st, and it would end on the 18th. The final will be on the 18th. So the 21st will be, which day is the 21st? I don't even know. But I'm hoping to get off work for the first 2 weeks of the World Cup, and then in December, where the games are going to get scanty after. Well, I'm hoping to get off for the group stage and the round of 16, all the way to the round of 16. But for the quarterfinals, I'll be back at work, and semifinals and so on and so forth. So appreciate you guys, dealing with that one. It was a horrible article, have to say. And thanks again there, John Burns, for all the super chat. Thanks for supporting the stream, man. Appreciate it 100%. He says, just to help you out, you great World Cup work. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that, man. Everybody in here, man. Appreciate it. Moderate Mappa, Bethel, Phil Benny, Jia Zhang, Sydney Football, Electrical Dust, Zachary Leahy in the house. Who else we have here? Harrison Searle, Isaiah Paskins, who's still around. Who else we got here? Goran, Vuike in the house. Guys, it's time. It's now time to talk European World Cup qualifiers. So let's go. UEFA. We go to the standings there. How are we doing? 2 hours, 31 minutes. Not bad at all. Not bad. We are 47 minutes away from midnight. Not bad. I want to be done with this with time to rest up. Got to get up early tomorrow. I want to start the live stream for the game in the morning between, I think that's the game between Ghana and South Africa. I want to be do a watch along for that one. That's going to actually coincide with the watch along for the Croatia-Russia game. So I want to do like a dual thing and cover every game that's playing during that period. And then, we'll have some fun there with that one in the morning. So let me just confirm there, though. Let me just confirm the games that we will be doing early in the morning. So early in the morning, man, listen. Zimbabwe, Ethiopia. Yeah, we won't be paying too much attention to that one. Madagascar, Tanzania as well. Oh, okay, yeah, I was wrong with the first game. It's Congo DR versus Benin. That's the game we will be paying attention to from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. But the other games, we'll give updates on those games as well. But bright and early in the afternoon as well, we will be doing the Ghana-South Africa game. Senegal do play Congo, and we got Mali, Uganda, which is a dead rubber at 11. That game will be talked about during the... I'm going to be live for a very long time tomorrow. It's going to be separate live streams. It won't be, one long live stream. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So early in the morning for UEFA World, I didn't even expect the game to start that early, but Croatia will be playing Russia very early in the morning. That's at 9 a.m. Slovenia plays Cyprus. That's a dead rubber. Malta plays Slovakia, another dead rubber. And then we have, oh man, listen, this is going to be hard. Liechtenstein, Romania, North Macedonia, Iceland at 12. This is going to be, man, I might have to be live like back to back from 8 a.m. all the way to about 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is going to be absolutely tough for me to do. But that's what, 10 hours? God damn. Jesus, save me. Anyways, guys, how you like my Adidas shirt here, man? How you like this? This is nice, right? This is hard. Man. God damn. See what I'm saying? God damn it. Dom with the gear. Dom, you with the gear, man. This is nice, man. When I saw this, I had to pick it up. I think I got this at the Adidas store, the outlet store, if I'm not mistaken. That's all I go into outlet stores for, for deals like this. So John Burns, FIFA World Cup playoff interconfederation Wikipedia, Colombia or Uruguay makes the playoffs, affects the pot distribution like pot 2 or 3. LOL. They would actually have to do the draw and put that team, just in case that team wins. You understand? There would be like an open slot. There will be it will be tough. Why exactly are they doing the draw before you know all the teams? You see what I mean? It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird. It is a weird draw. It is weird because let's say you have a team like Panama coming up against a higher ranked South American team. You see what I'm saying? Or what might end up happening is that they might just put the Confederations team into a pot and say, if you playing in the Interconfederation playoff, you go into this pot. You see what I'm saying? Or the draw might have slash this. Okay. It's weird, man. This is weird. I don't want to get into that right now. You're busting my brain right now. Dom, have you seen the leaks for the World Cup jerseys? Nah, bro. Nah. Because we don't know who's at the World Cup yet. But if, for example, like Germany qualify already, Denmark, maybe they have World Cup jerseys already. Brazil. But you see what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, yeah, I don't want to bust my brain right about now, man. Don't want to bust my brain right now. Imagine they put all those playoff spots in the last pot, just like the Euros. They just might do that. That's exactly what I'm saying. They just might end up doing that. So, let's go back here, man. Let's go back here. Why are they making it harder for themselves? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why they couldn't just wait until all the teams are known to just do the draw. Don't know why they do things like that. Two teams can't make one confederation amazing. Oh, man. What confederation are we talking about here? AFC is better than CONCACAF. Well, it's a debate. We're not going to get into that debate right about now. We're really not going to get into that debate right now. USA couldn't beat Trinidad C team. We're not going to get into that right about now. That's going to take forever. But let's talk UEFA, though. Let's go through all the groups. And let's start with Group A, where we have some big calls to make. Big calls to make. But before we do that, though, before we make predictions, let's talk about the games that's coming up, that's happened today. Pardon me. Groups D. Let's scroll down to Group D, Group E, and Group J. All right, let's start with Group D, where France have officially qualified for the 2022 World Cup after a humongous win against Kazakhstan. France 8, Kazakhstan 0. This is absolutely ridiculous. Guys, just for your information, I want to keep it real. I didn't watch these games because I knew what the results were going to be. So I said to myself, I'm going to take a nap and refresh myself for this live stream tonight. All right. Kylian Mbappe with 4 goals. One in the 6th minute, 12th minute, and in the 32nd minute. The last goal came in the 87th minute. And he became the first French player to score 4 goals in a match since Just Fontaine back in 1958. So well done to Kylian Mbappe. You know, you got to score those penalties, bro. You got to put those penalties in the back of the net when it matters. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a more complete player than that. Just want to keep it real there, you know what I'm saying? Mbappe, you ain't going to get off the hook. Don't think we ain't forget you missing those penalties at the Euros and the Nations League. All right? But don't want to take nothing away from Kylian Mbappe there. But great stuff by France, you know, against Kazakhstan there to, you know what I mean, rump through an 8-0 win. The other goal scorers included Karim Benzema in the 55th and the 59th, Adrian Rabiot in the 75th, and Antoine Griezmann in the 84th. Listen, Didier Deschamps weren't playing any games when it comes to Kazakhstan. He put out a very, very strong team. Hugo Lloris in goal, Luca Hernandez, his brother Theo. Over on the left side there, Upamecano and Jules Koundé, highly rated defenders. Kingsley Coman, Bayern Munich man. Kante, Rabiot, Griezmann, Mbappe, and Benzema. He wasn't playing around. Wasn't playing around at all, and you know what I mean? They run to a big win there. So congratulations to the world champions, France, for making it back to the World Cup. And you see the official Twitter there, blah, blah. Sont officiellement qualifiés pour la Coupe du Monde 2022. Nice French, right? Look, they have Kylian Mbappe, Tchouameni, and that means that they rate Tchouameni very, very highly. Griezmann, Benzema back in the fold. No Olivier Giroud there. Adrian Rabiot, little crybaby, and Captain Hugo Lloris. Paul Pogba is out injured, or maybe he would have been on the poster there. You could see the desert. You know what I mean? That's a nice graphic there. France officially qualifies. Like, guys, we expected this. We expected France to qualify for the World Cup. This is not something that we thought was, you know, they could have messed it up. They could have messed it up as they picked up 3 draws, but they are unbeaten so far in the group, 15 points ahead of Finland, Ukraine, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Kazakhstan. So congratulations to the world champions on making it back to the event to defend their title. Let's see if they could do so. They're definitely one of the favorites going into the tournament. Definitely. Even though they failed to win the Euros, but they did bounce back with a UEFA Nations League win. So France always a threat. 8-0. Oh man, that's a massacre of Kazakhstan. So look, congrats to France, but we're going to move on to something else. Let's talk. Let's go back and let's talk about them boys up in Finland doing a business. Look, I didn't expect this at all. I predicted a draw, 1-1 on the road to Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I cannot believe that Finland pulled off a 3-1 win on the road against Bosnia, even after they went down to 10 men. Absolute scenes. Big up to the boy Michael Talks Football. They tune into his watch along. I didn't watch the game. I woke up to the result and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Pardon my language, by the way. But I couldn't believe it though. Finland 3, Bosnia 1. Finland going down to 10 men in the 37th minute, still getting the job done. Marcus Fors in the 29th minute. Juka Raitala sent off in the 37th. Robin Lod put Finland 2-0 up in the 58th minute. But Luka Menalo brought Bosnia and Herzegovina back in the game. But then Daniel O'Shaughnessy put another goal in the 73rd minute. 3-1. Finland all alive. Guys, hear these stats, right? Bosnia, 28 shots at goal, 7 on target, only 1 in the back of the net. Big up to the boy Lukas Hradecki in goal. Very busy man in goal. And big up to all the Finland players. I'm surprised that Teemu Pukki didn't actually score. That's the big surprise here. The Finland managed to score 3. They don't usually score a lot of goals, but to score 3, especially on the road, and Pukki does not score. I think Pukki even missed a penalty in this game too. So, yeah, man. Yeah. It was a miracle. It was indeed a miracle. It was a miracle in this game. And sometimes in life, you need miracles, man. You need miracles. You need things to go your way. It's not luck. You need miracles. And look. Bosnia, I'm very disappointed in this Bosnian team, though. Very, very disappointed in this Bosnian team. But they were missing the big man Edin Dzeko up top. That's a big player to not have in a crunch game like this. Miralem Pjanic in the middle, he couldn't do it. Kolasinac, not a big name. Not good enough by Bosnia. Not good enough. So they get basically with this loss eliminated because they needed a win. They needed a win to keep themselves in contention for that playoff spot, but they have been eliminated. So big up to Markku Kanerva and the guys up in Finland. This is a remarkable performance. 8 shots at goal, 5 on target, 32% of the ball. They were very clinical in the final third, and in their defensive third, very resolute to keep out of, the Bosnians who bombarded them with shots. So Finland, second in the group right now. Leapfrog Ukraine on 9 points. Finland also has a plus 2 goal difference comparing to Ukraine's plus 1 goal difference. What's very interesting in this group, guys, are the last 2 games. Finland versus France in Helsinki. They have the perfect setup. You're at home, you're playing the world champions. A win or a draw could potentially, a win would definitely get you into the playoffs, but a draw could potentially put you ahead of Ukraine, even if Ukraine does win against a lackluster Bosnia and Herzegovina team. The odds are also stacked up against Ukraine because they have been drawing their games left, right, and center. So many draws. The last game they played against Bosnia, also a draw. So let's say Ukraine draw the game. That's all Finland needs. So Finland will be hoping that Bosnia do them a favor or Ukraine do them a favor with a draw. And Finland doesn't need to do anything against France. They could even send a U team and lose 100-0. They'll still go through to the playoffs, where they would fancy themselves to continue this Cinderella run where they made their first major footballing event at Euro 2020 that was held in 2021, and they could follow that up with a World Cup, repeating what Iceland did for Euro 16 and for the 2018 World Cup. So let's see if Finland could pull it off, man. So all the best to Finland. I would love to see a debutant at the World Cup. It would be hard. There would be, a good bit of wait because of that mini tournament in the playoff rounds. But at least they would live to fight another day. So good stuff, man. Good stuff that's going on in this group right now. And I'm hoping to see something miraculous when come to those final games that will be, held next Tuesday. Finland versus France, Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Ukraine. Awesome stuff there, man. Absolutely love stories like this. And this group D, wasn't boring. Definitely wasn't boring at all. Even Kazakhstan had their share of picking up a couple draws and keeping things interesting in the group. So it's Finland and Ukraine fighting it out for that playoff spot. They don't play each other, so they will depend on, each other's results to actually go through to the playoffs. Look, it's hard to put my money on any one of these teams right now. Finland against France is a mismatch, but they could play out their skins and get something. But I just have a sneaky feeling that Ukraine are not winning that game. So Finland might just luck out and go through to the playoffs. It brings us to the next group here, Group E. But before we talk about Group E, what are you guys saying right now in the chat, man? Big up to everybody who's still in here. Big up to IZTDV in the house. How are you doing? Moderate Mapper, thank you very much for coming through. Hui Kim in the house. Electrical Dust in the house. Oh, man. John Burns, man. Big up to John Burns. Big up to John Burns. Dr. Negative. Who else we got in here making comments? Who else? Thank you again, John Burns. Think Armenia really has a chance to qualify. Armenia has been eliminated. Armenia eliminated. It's only against it's only Romania and What's the team called there? North Macedonia still in with a shout. Armenia has been eliminated. Let's scroll down to that Group J really quick, just so you know. Armenia eliminated. Eliminated. A -8 goal difference to a plus 10 goal difference here for Macedonia. Armenia are pretty much out unless they destroy Germany 20-something nil, and depend on the result between North Macedonia here and Iceland. So Armenia out, Iceland out, Liechtenstein out. Romania and North Macedonia are vying for that playoff spot with whatchamacallit. I'll get to this group. Let's do everything in its turn. I get to that group. I have predictions for these games coming up, and I'll let you know my thoughts. All right? We have predictions from Group A, B, J, and H. All big games coming up in these groups. And stay tuned. We're going to have some fun with that. We're definitely going to have some fun. Guys, if you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. We'd definitely appreciate that. We got 63 likes. Let's get it up to 75. Let's go. Let us go, man. So we have to talk Group E. So, right. Let's do this. All right. So in Group E, Belgium has officially qualified for the World Cup. 19.6 wins and a draw. No losses. 24 goals. 5 against. Brilliant stuff by Roberto Martinez, Kevin De Bruyne, the Hazard brothers, Lukaku, Benteke, and company. Not Vincent Company, but and co. Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Denayer. You know what I mean? And these guys there. Castagna, Mounier, Yannick Carrasco. I'm name dropping, but the Belgium team is star-studded and they deserve to qualify. I didn't have any doubts. Didn't have any doubts at all of them making it to the World Cup, as last time around they did manage to come in third. It would have been nice if they won the World Cup, but Belgium, man, I don't know if they're going to win anything under Roberto Martinez at all. So Belgium officially qualified for the World Cup, and they did so with a big win. Not the most convincing win, but still a big win. 3-1 against Estonia. Big in the context of the fact that they qualified and they put out a strong team against Estonia. These guys are not messing around. Managers are not messing around. You don't want to be that team that lose to Estonia and put your direct qualification in jeopardy and have to go through to the playoffs to get, upset by one of these weaker teams. All right, so in this game, Christian Benteke in the 11th minute. Goalkeeping error, tap in. Did get a lot of chance, hit the post, I could remember. I tuned into this game a little bit, but tuned out. Yannick Carrasco in the 53rd minute. Eric Soga bagged one for Estonia. And Togan Hazard in the 74th minute to give the Belgians a win. Easy win. They were always expected to win that game. And Belgium, the Red Devils, have officially qualified for the World Cup. World Cup Brazil, Euro 16, World Cup Russia, Euro 2020, and Qatar. So they have qualified for the last 5 international tournaments on the bounce. You could see Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Leander Dendonka. You got Castagna, Hazard. You got the boy, who else? Van Aken there, Axel Witsel, Yuri Tillemans, Dedrick Boyata, Torgan Hazard. Oh, man, Leandro Trossard, Mounier. A lot of magic in the team, man. Alderweireld, Carrasco, Vertonghen. Not to forget Thibaut Courtois. And the manager in charge, Roberto Martinez. And the French players. A lot of really good talent coming through. Jeremy Doku comes to mind. You see what I'm saying? Charles De Ketelaere comes to mind. They got some good players coming through, and they're always going to be a threat. But got to win something, man. You got to win something. You got to win something with this golden generation of players. Got to win something and stop bullying these little teams. Win something. That's my message to the Belgian national team. Win something. Okay? Not convinced. Still not convinced. Not convinced at all. So, what happened in the other games in Group E here, guys? So, Wales have officially clinched a place into the playoffs, guys. Into the playoffs. Let's go back. Let's just go back really quick and get the groups up here again. Wales have gone up to 14 points with a resounding 5-1 win against Belarus, where I did predict Wales to draw the game, but they proved me wrong and they went ahead and won 5-1. That was Gareth Bale's 100th appearance for Wales, so congratulations to Bale. Wales is Bale, all right? He's the talisman. But Aaron Ramsey in the 2nd minute. Nico Williams, the Liverpool right back, in the 20th minute. Ramsey again from the penalty spot in the 50th. Ben Davies in the 77th. And Constevoy bagged the consolation goal in the 87th minute. And Connor Roberts in the 89th. Dominant performance by Wales. 18 shots and goals, 7 on target compared to 6 at goal for Belarus. 2 on target. They only had 33% of the ball. Quality stuff by the Welsh national team. They last made it to the World Cup back in 1958, and they had to do so because, you know, I think a few teams dropped out of the thing, I think, and they had to end up playing against Israel in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, and they won the playoffs and they ended up qualifying for the World Cup back in 1958. Have not been back since. So that's a great story. I think I covered this back in 2018. I might do that again for 2022. So congratulations to Wales there. Quality stuff. The Czech Republic would also make the cut to the playoffs via the Nations League. If you don't know, now you know. They would be in the playoffs as well. So it would be Belgium qualifying directly. Wales through the playoffs. Or even if Wales do not make it to the playoffs via the group, they do make it to the playoffs via the Nations League. So anywhere you put it, Wales or the Czech Republic, wherever they finish in the group, regardless to if Wales lose their last game there and Czech Republic win and they surpass Wales on goal difference, Wales would go through to the playoffs and the Czech Republic would do the same. Wales do play Belgium, and for the Czech Republic, their next game coming up there, they play against, let me let you know that their next game is against Estonia. So most likely the Czech Republic will go up in 2nd and Wales will take the 3rd spot, but Wales would still get the Nations League spot along with Austria, who, you know, it's confirmed. It will be either Wales, the Czech Republic, or Austria for those 2 spots. And I think it's going to be Wales and Austria for the Nations League spots and the Czech Republic for that direct, well, for that 2nd place spot via the group stage. Not direct. Don't use the word direct. Direct only, you know, has to do with the teams qualifying directly for the World Cup. So congratulations to Belgium. It's expected that Belgium and France would have qualified. So no need really going on and on and on about these 2 teams making it. Like, it's not a big deal, right? These teams supposed to qualify. So those are the last 2 fixtures in the group. Those will come up next Tuesday to wrap up the European qualifiers group stage. And then we have a playoff round coming up. So the next group that we have to touch on in terms of today's matches, oh man, very dramatic stuff here. The Netherlands, Norway, you guys are playing games. The Netherlands, Norway, playing around big time, man. And it's making things very, very difficult where it goes into the last match day where these teams are going to fight to the death. Norway 0, Latvia 0. Norway struggled so much against Latvia to break them down. They did score. I could remember I tuned into the game. They did score, but the goal was chalked off. Mohamed El-Yanoussi did score. 25 shots, 5 on target. Latvia defended for their lives and kept them out. Norway they were at home. How are you going to be at home against Latvia and not score and not win? But it does set up the final match day, though. It does set it up nicely, where they will have to come up against the Dutch. And winner Winner takes all here. Winner takes it. Maybe not really. Winner does not take all here. If the Netherlands win, they would qualify directly, right? There's a situation where the Dutch just needs to draw, and the Dutch would qualify based on goal difference, even if Turkey picks up a win. And Turkey, you know, they come up against Montenegro. It ain't going to be easy because, look, Montenegro proved that they're not a pushover. Montenegro 2, the Netherlands 2. The Dutch deserves, every player deserves, including the managers, to line up and let me smack him across the head. A Memphis Depay double, 25th minute penalty, 54th minute goal, and then you allow Montenegro to come back in the game with Van Dijk at the back. What's going on here, Van Dijk? Van Dijk, I need answers, bro. I need answers from the Dutch team. I need answers. How in a crunch game where if you won just simply because of what Norway did against Latvia, all you needed to do was win against Montenegro, who's already eliminated, and you qualify for the World Cup that you missed in 2018. All you needed to do was win the game. Simple scenario. You go and draw the game to make things difficult on the final match day. God damn. But for Montenegro, Ilija Vukotic scored in the 82nd and Nikola Vujnovic in the 86th. I did not watch the back end of this game. I didn't know what transpired, but I was shocked when I saw the result. I couldn't believe it that the Dutch basically give Turkey a lifeline. Turkey has a lifeline, and that comes after Turkey's big 6-0 victory against Gibraltar, where with that big win, they leapfrog the Norwegians on goal difference. So, well done to Turkey. Well done. Well done. You see what I mean? Well done. So, Mohamed Otukoglu in the 11th minute, Halil Devasoglu in the 38th and the 41st, Mary Demiral 65th, Seda Dursun in the 81st, and Mert Mulder in the 84th to give Stefan Kuntz and his boys a big win against Gibraltar expected. Gibraltar did go down to 10 men when Jace Olivero got sent off in the 22nd minute of the game. But let's take a look at the table here, guys. Netherlands 20 points plus 23 goal difference. All they need is a draw in their final game. They will host Norway. We take a look at the fixtures so we get that right. Netherlands host Norway. Gibraltar, Latvia, that's a dead rubber. Montenegro hosts Turkey. Turkey are not losing this game. Turkey are going and they're playing their hearts out. They're getting something from this game. They are getting something from this game. I repeat, Turkey are getting something from this game. They're going up and they're getting 21 points. Even if they get only a draw, or even if Turkey ends up losing the game, it depends on how bad. Turkey could lose the game and still go into the playoffs if Norway lose their game. It's just who lose the game the worst, right? Because they're on the same points. Turkey got a +1 goal difference over Norway. It's tense. It's really tense. I'm fancying the Dutch to get something at home in front of their people against Norway. No Erling Haaland for Norway. They can't score against Latvia, but you never know. You never know, right? You never know. They could come up with a magic on the day. But let's say the Dutch draw the game. It means that the Dutch would qualify automatically as group winners because of their +23 goal difference. Turkey, with a win over Montenegro, which I think they might end up just doing, would end up getting 21 points and qualifying for the playoffs, which means that Norway will miss out. That's a situation. And there's also a situation where if the Dutch lose their game, it means that the Dutch could end up getting eliminated altogether. If they lose. If they lose, it means that Norway goes up to 21 points and Turkey would actually qualify directly for the World Cup if they win by a better margin and get a better goal difference than Norway. So these are the things that could happen in this group still. Take your pick, man. Take your pick. Take your pick, because this is way too tense. This is way too tense, man. This is way too tense. Way too tense. And it's all because of the freaking Dutch allowing Montenegro to come back in the game. It's all because of Norway not winning against Latvia. This group could have been wrapped up. It could have pretty much been wrapped up today, where we would have known the top two teams, and Netherlands and Norway would have scrapped it out for that for that direct spot and the playoff spot, right? Pretty much. But the Netherlands would have basically, if you think about it, with their goal difference, would have qualified, because a win would have taken them up to, let me see, 22. No, it would have been a scrap. It would have been a scrap. It would have been a scrap. They would have gone up to 22 points. Norway would have gone up to 20 points. And if Norway beat the Dutch, Norway would have qualified. Yeah, so it would have been a scrap, but still a scrap. Any way you put it. Any way you put it, man. Frustrating stuff. Any Dutch fans? Let me know how you feel. This must be really frustrating. So, look. Those are the games that happened today. We will talk about these groups some more. Group D and E decided, but Group G still hangs in the air. And it brings us to four groups that still, where places, direct places and playoff places hang in the air. And that's groups A, B, J, and H. Talk to me, guys. Thanks again there, John Burns. Appreciate it. No, not that one. There's another one. There's another one. Thanks again. Armenia playing Germany 20-0. Armenia win. LOL. Yeah, I know. Won't happen, though. Won't happen. So, Moderate Mapper is saying, John Burns, damn, how many super chats you gonna do? Moderate Mapper, you need to follow suit or don't mention it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't mention it. See what I mean? Come on, bro. Come on. You should be encouraging more people to super chat. Don't question why he's super chatting. Big up to Karumi in the house. How are you doing? Dutch, the football, the total football, Rhinus Mikkel, most be vexed of what's happening. Yep, definitely. Karumi, haven't seen you around these parts in a while. I think you've been busy with the Jamaican stuff. You guys are having a headache over there with Jamaican football right now. So that's what happening in Group G. Guys, a lot more groups to talk about. I got the predictions ready for you, and we are going to be sharing the predictions on these crunch groups. Crunch groups. Let's go. Let's go. Think we did anything yet? No, we didn't. We got more to go. 4 more groups to talk about. Big group here. I won't be long. I won't be long because I have my predictions already made up. If I didn't have my predictions already, then I'll be, you know, super long. But I got my predictions already. I got him figured out. All right, let's go. Gotta hydrate. Been talking a lot. Tomorrow's the last day of my vacation. Well, 10 minutes from midnight, so I have one more day. I have 24 hours and 10 minutes left until I go back to work on Monday. I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is, though. That's what pays the bills. Group A. Portugal versus Serbia for the direct spot for 2022 Qatar. Portugal versus Serbia. This one is difficult. Because Serbia, they've been producing some really good attacking players lately. Dusan Vlahovic comes to mind. Jovic, Tadic, Mitrovic, Milinkovic Savic, Dragan Stojkovic doing a great job at the helm. He's doing well with the players he got, believe me. But with the star-studded 11 that Fernando Santos has at his disposal at the helm of the Portuguese national team, it's actually a shame that they're in this situation right now. Seriously, Portugal should have wrapped this thing up already. Should have done a Germany, a Denmark, a France, a Belgium, and England. They should have wrapped this thing up already. But they find themselves with the World Cup qualification spot going down to the wire. And it's never cool when things go down to the wire, because then there could be a situation where there's heartbreak in front of your home fans. Because Serbia are not going to come out there to play games. You saw what happened in the first meeting between these two teams. Controversial match where I think, Portugal should have ended up winning the game 2-2. The Ronaldo ball did go over the line, but, they messed up with that one, in my opinion. And this would actually be the 8th meeting between Serbia and Portugal, where Portugal have won 3 and they have drawn 4 games. So Serbia has never beaten Portugal in their history. Not in any friendlies, not in anything. All right? And this is the first time they're meeting in World Cup qualifiers. And they have done well enough to earn themselves a 2-2 draw. Serbia would have to go against all odds here to beat Portugal, especially on the road. The first match met in 2007, as this current Serbia, not, a Serbia and Montenegro or the Yugoslavian Republic of Serbia or whatever they went by before. We're talking about Serbia as Serbia. 2 draws back in 2007, and back in 2015 they met twice, and Portugal won both those games. The games have been very close though. Apart from the game in 2019 where there was a 4-2 win on the road for Portugal, there's always been close games between Portugal and Serbia. I expect Serbia to go there and give it their all. They got a goal difference of +8 compared to a +12 goal difference for Portugal. So a draw won't do it for Serbia in terms of qualifying directly for the World Cup. So Serbia would have to go the hard way to the playoffs if they fail to beat Portugal. Portugal are going to be hard to beat at home. Even though they're not at their best, Pepe red carded, Fernando Santos playing a whole lot of games, giving, starting that Nunes guy in a crunch game there against Republic of Ireland, playing Danilo at centre back. Is he starting none of the Man City players as well? I don't know if you guys realize that, but Bernardo didn't start, Diaz didn't start, Cancelo didn't start. I don't know what he's doing, but whatever he did against the Republic of Ireland, he needs to do the opposite of what, he's going to do in this game. Whatever he did against Ireland, do the opposite. Just do the opposite. Look, Bruno Fernandes needs to step up. He got to step up. He got to step up big time. I'm calling him out. He has to step up. He's the only player I'm calling out right. He got to step up. Everybody got to step up, but especially Bruno Fernandes. You've been doing nothing for Portugal, man. And for United, you're only showing up against the freaking small teams. This team is overly reliant on Cristiano Ronaldo, Andre Silva, Guedes, João Felix. The team is too star-studded to be in a situation right now. They're not going to lose the game, in my opinion. I'm going to go for an exciting 2-2 draw. Another 2-2 draw here. Serbia almost does it. But not enough. Not enough. Portugal qualify directly. Serbia go into the playoffs. These are my final predictions for that game. Luxembourg versus the Republic of Ireland, the other game in this group, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So that's final for me. Portugal qualify directly. Serbia into the playoffs. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. Could Serbia actually prove me wrong and win the game against Portugal to send them into playoff hell? I think they're capable of doing it, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it would be nice to see, though. It would send shockwaves to the football world. It would make the playoffs a lot more attractive as well. Gotta just put it out there. You know, so that's my predictions for the Group A matches coming up tomorrow. Guys, let me know your thoughts. All right, we have Hui Kim, Serbia to win and CR7 to score 6 more international goals in the playoffs. Okay. Luke Thompson, Portugal goes through. What else we have here? Betel, Portugal should beat Ireland, man. Hey, more drama for us. Let me see. Betel is saying 2-1 to Portugal. Vujka, Serbia wins. You sound like a Serbian, bro. That sounds like a Serbian name if you ask me. Are you Serbian? Is that a Serbian name, bro? Tell me if that's a Serbian. Tell me if you're Serbian. You sound Serbian to me. Don't be biased, bro. Just say, I hope my boys go out there and do the damn thing and end up winning. But don't be biased, okay? Don't be biased. We don't do that around here. All right? So, what else we got here in terms of predictions? Yeah, see? Of course, I know you were. I know you were. Karumi, Portugal, no work hard enough without the ball. Okay, so without the ball, they're not doing enough work. Because they're not playing the City players, you see. If you see João Cancelo, Bernardo, Ruben Diaz on the field, and I'm not even being biased for the City players. You just got to play the more quality players on the day. And you'll get the results. You see what I'm saying? But you're going to get results like that against Ireland when you want to play Diego Dallo and all these guys. You know what I'm saying? And you have João Cancelo on the bench. Dumb decisions if you ask me. But it is what it is. It's set it up for a nice last day in the group. And let's hope we get a thriller that's coming up later today. It's almost past midnight. So, look. What else you got in terms of predictions, man? Let me see. Man, turn on Man City fan mode now. No, it's not that. It's just something that I saw, though. I saw that somebody put out a post that said after United lost to Man City, Ronaldo made sure none of the Man City players started the game for Portugal. That's why I'm saying that. You know what I mean? That's how I didn't even realize that the City players didn't actually start the game. I didn't because I'm not really looking for that. If they don't play, that's better for me. You see what I'm saying? They come back fresh, not injured. That is better for me, but I'm just saying, man, you play them, that's a better quality team, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Got to keep it real. So, we're going to move on, guys. We're going to move on to Group B, where we have a big clash coming up for Spain versus Sweden. All right? So, yeah, man. We're going to talk about that right now. Let's go. All right, let's scroll down. Portugal through to the World Cup. Serbia into the playoffs. My final predictions. Group B. Greece versus Kosovo. These teams are eliminated already. I'm going to go for Greece to pick up a 2-1 win over Kosovo. And, you know, they could continue working towards Euro 2024 and towards the World Cup in 2026, which will be a 48-team World Cup. They have more chances to make the cut. So, we're going to talk Spain versus Sweden here. Sweden picked up a victory against Spain in the earlier game. 2-1 in Solna. And because of their inability to get the better of Greece and the inability to get the better of Georgia, both games on the road, Sweden find themselves in a position where they must win the game in Seville against Spain. Sweden could have avoided all of this drama could have been avoided if they had picked up 6 points, or even pick up, let's say, win the game against Georgia. They would have gone up to 18 points, and all they would have needed was a draw. You see what I'm saying? They would have gone up to 17 points, pardon me, and a draw would have been good enough. Something that they could have done against Spain. But I'm thinking, look, I know Greece played well. Greece, you got to give Greece the credit. But you're coming up against Georgia, man. You got to beat Georgia. You got to beat Georgia. I don't want no excuses. I think the inclusion, don't get me wrong, I like the inclusion of Zlatan. I like that he's back. I like that Zlatan is Zach. I like that he's Zach. Right? Zait? I like that he's Zach. Right, Zait? But he is unbalancing the team. He's unbalancing the team, man. I think the whole system they had at first, even with Quaison starting and you have Isaac starting, it would have been a better team. Zlatan to come off the bench to give you that threat late in the game. If you need him, yeah. I'll be surprised if he starts Zlatan in Spain. That's it. You need that mobility. Zlatan isn't so mobile. You need guys to work off the ball as well. You need guys on that counter attack. And Zlatan ain't going to give you that on counter attacks. You see what I'm saying? On set pieces, yeah, but not on counter attacks. And that's where Sweden were most dangerous, on the counter attacks, when Alexander Isak and Forsberg and Quaison and Kulusevski and these guys link up. But I'm telling you, Zlatan Ibrahimovic unbalanced that team against Georgia, and it was an embarrassing loss. 2-0. Not even a score, not even a goal to fight back. Spain, on the other hand, look, as much as I have been talking shit about Spain and Eric Garcia and all of them, you got to give it to Luis Enrique and what he's been doing with the Spain national team. He's been giving players opportunities on merit. He's been calling up, a lot of players who deserve to get called up. Not calling up Real Madrid players. Maybe that helped. He got far in the Euros, got far in the Nations League. And it's a good fight back to get themselves in a position above Sweden, who did beat them, and a good position where they only need a draw to make it directly back to the World Cup, where they were there in 2018. And of course, they won it in 2010, sandwiched by 2 Euro wins in 2008 and 2012. So we know how good this team is. Luis Enrique is a legend. The man knows what he's doing. I was actually critical of some of the call-ups, but it seems like it's working. They would miss Ferran Torres, who's out with a broken leg, but the guys have been stepping up. They need Morata to step up more, though. Morata has to step up. They need more support. Gavi looks good. You see what I'm saying? I like that he called up Raul de Tomas and all these guys. Sweden are not beating Spain in Spain. Sweden fucked up. They already fucked things up. They already did. Pardon my language, but they already messed things up. It's done. It's over for Sweden. I like the Swedish team. I was, talked about their team a lot and their games a lot. The fans came out, showed the love and everything. But this time around, you guys done messed up. And I have to keep it real. It ain't happening. Spain, 2-1. They're not losing. They're not even letting them get a point. Sweden, playoff. Spain, straight to Qatar. That's my final prediction. 2-1. Congrats to Luis Enrique in advance. If Sweden manages to beat Spain again and qualify directly for the World Cup, that'll be absolutely brilliant. That'd be brilliant. But I think Sweden, they're a playoff type of team, and they're going to be in the playoff again. Look, this would be the 17th meeting between these two teams. Spain has only lost 4 times to Sweden, right? 4 times. And you have to go back to 1950, 88, and 2006. And the loss that came in 2021. But before that, Spain very, very dominant. 6 wins, 6 draws. But Sweden always been a thorn in the side of Spain, and we know they've been a thorn in the side of Italy because they prevented them from qualifying last time around. So for Sweden, they would actually have to be that team that goes into the playoff and cause havoc again. And we know they're capable of doing it. So playoff, I think, for Sweden. If they want to make it back to the World Cup, playoff is their best bet. So all the best to both teams. May the best team qualify directly for the World Cup. Whoever doesn't, get a good result to the playoffs, all the best in the playoffs as well. Share your thoughts, guys. What are you guys saying? Big up to the boy Fox Williams in the house. How are you doing? So, Mr. Gray, damn, how I missed your CONCACAF segment. Just back from Edmonton for Canada, Costa Rica game. What an atmosphere it was. Don't worry yourself. There will be timestamps on the live stream. I will be clipping out some of these as well. I have predictions coming up for next week's games. So don't worry yourself, man. Don't worry yourself. Everything will be all right. You see what I mean? Big up to BMW in the house. Oh, my God. My dad loves BMWs. He's been driving BMWs for a long time. So, and he never let me drive the BMW, though. One day, I actually took the BMW for a spin around the block. That was nerve-wracking, though. So I was like, God damn. If I crash this BMW, I'm a dead man. Anyways, let's keep it moving. Don't steal your parents' cars like I did back in the day. So, look, Karum is saying Sweden, now write them off. Sweden can spoil up the party. Nah, ain't no party spoiling here, man. Ain't no party spoiling here. 6-4, Spain versus Sweden. It's close. Definitely it's close. Big up to Smith Yoon in the house. Electrical dust. Sweden prevented Italy and Netherlands qualifying. Amazing. Look, you don't want to meet Sweden. You don't want to meet Sweden in the playoffs. Let's just put it that way. All the best to any team that meets Sweden in the playoff. So, guys, we have 2 more big predictions to make. Actually, 3 more, right? And we're going to get into that right about now. Bless up to everybody in the stream, man. Make sure you like the video. Guys, we need 8 more likes to get to 75 thumbs up. Make sure you do so. We'll definitely appreciate that. It's 9 minutes after midnight. And we're beginning to land the plane. We've been live for 3.5 hours. I cannot believe this. Cannot believe this, man. I got to wake up early to do a couple watch-alongs. It's going to be rough. It is going to be very rough for me. So let's go. Let us go. Let us not delay things anymore, though. Let's not delay things anymore. But shout out to everybody who joined the live stream tonight, though. As you could see, the Group C is in the balance as well. Italy and Switzerland, Italy play Northern Ireland, Switzerland play Bulgaria. And whoever gets the best result in their games, they qualify directly for the World Cup. So we will touch on that group when we need to. Spoke about Group D already. France qualified directly. Spoke about Group E already. Belgium qualified directly. We talked about Group F yesterday. Denmark qualify Scotland into the playoff. And Austria in 4th right now are into the playoffs as well via the Nations League. So congratulations to Austria for making it to the playoffs. They will be a tough team to play in the playoffs as well. Just want to put it out there. But we know 3 teams that goes into the playoffs will make it to Qatar 2022. Group G, we discussed that tonight. It brings us to Group H. Group H, early in the morning, Croatia takes on Russia in Split. And this one is a huge one. Huge one. And Croatia are second in the table. A draw won't be good enough to qualify directly for Qatar. It's win or into the playoffs. this is not a team you want to meet in the playoffs as well. But for Croatia, they won't want to leave it to the playoffs like 2018. They want to go straight into the World Cup and avoid giving their fans a heart attack, right? Russia, they've done a great job. They sacked Chechesov after a horrible Euro campaign. But, you know, manager in charge, very capable right now. Slovakia, Slovenia, out. We know they're out. For the predictions coming up for those dead rubber games, Slovenia, 2-1 versus Cyprus, in my opinion. Malta, 1, Slovakia, 3. It leaves us with one match left to predict. Croatia versus Russia. This would be the 5th ever meeting between Croatia and Russia. 2 matches won for Croatia, 3 draws, and they have never ever lost to Russia, which is a great thing. Never lost to Russia. They met Russia at the 2018 World Cup and they won 4-3 on penalties. You won't be going down to penalties. So that game is basically a draw. So last 2 games against Russia, a 0-0 draw in the group, 2-2 draw at the World Cup, 3-1 win in an international friendly. They would need to replicate that. So realistically, it's only 1 game they have really won against Russia in 90 minutes and 2 0-0 draws. So in 5 games, there's been 3 0-0 draws and a 2-2 draw. This one, it's difficult to predict, but this Croatian team is not the Croatian team from 2018. That Croatian team in 2018 was a bit stronger. He had Mandzukic, he had Subasic, he had Strinic, and he had Charluka and co. You know what I mean? And it was a better team. It was a better team in my opinion, with Rakitic as well comes to mind in the midfield along with Modric. So you have Rakitic and Modric in the midfield with Mandzukic up top. That's a force. But these days with Kramaric and, you know, a bunch of jokers up top, you know what I mean, who's not putting the ball in the back of the net, and with Zlatko Dalic not giving Mislav Orsic enough time on the field, in my opinion, it's kind of very inconsistent. I know Croatia did blow away Malta and they picked up some good results in the group. They've done what they had to do against the likes of, you know, the other teams in the group. But still, you find yourself 2 points behind Russia, needing a win against a team that you historically have not performed that great against. You performed well, but not great. Croatia is the team that I really backed in the 2018 World Cup along with Belgium. Because, you know, a lot of Croatian fans, when I covered the thing, they jumped on the, you know, the bandwagon and everything on the channel. And I have a lot of Croatian supporters. So when I talk Croatian football, they do come out and support the thing. So big up to any one of them watching this right now. Guys, Croatia going through to the playoffs. I don't see Croatia beating Russia. 1-1. I don't see them beating Russia, whether they're at home, away, on neutral ground, on land, or in sea, or in space. They're not beating Russia in this game. Russia's qualifying directly for Qatar 2022, like I initially predicted. And if Croatia does manage to beat Russia, I'll be surprised, but I'll be happy at the same time for Hrvatska, for Vatreni. Because we know when they're on fire, they're on fire. You see what I'm saying? But when they're cold, they're cold. And this team has been very difficult to predict, man. Croatia won, Russia won. Russia through to the World Cup, Croatia into the playoffs. That's my predictions for that one. Tough predictions, but I have to make the tough calls nevertheless. Let me know your thoughts. Talk to me. 0-0, Hui Kim. 1-0 says go right on 0-0. Croatia 1-0, Electric Dust. I know Croatia very good at home, but I just don't think they're going to win the game. Just don't think they're going to win the game. Philip Maric, pretty sure you're Croatian, 2-0. Croatia is dangerous at home, but Russia on the carpet is taught opponent. Very difficult to predict. If I play bet, I would go 0-1 goal. Who is that, on Croatia? Or would that be for Russia? What are you saying? Let me see. Why England's zones are so easy. Croatia versus Sweden in the playoffs. Oh man, that'll be difficult. Dominic is asked Jamaica can beat USA. No, I think USA gonna beat Jamaica. I made that prediction already. So what else we got there? Big up to the boy Ryan. Ryan, you still in here, man? What are you doing? What are you doing? You up? Oh, you off on the weekends now. So you're up late. Off on the weekend, so you're up late doing your thing. I see. But I'm going for a 1-1 draw though. We have one more group to predict. And that is Group J. England pretty much qualified. They play San Marino on the last day. Poland will get that playoff spot. Group J, Germany qualified directly. North Macedonia are in second. And Romania are in third. Armenia, not mathematically eliminated, but they come up against Germany. So the probabilities of getting to the playoffs is very, very slim. You could eliminate them already. Look, Iceland and Liechtenstein, it's down to their performance against both Macedonia and Romania to determine who goes through. Germany, great job, 24 points. But Macedonia, or North Macedonia as they're known as, picked up a really good win against Germany. And when you look at the table right now, it's that win against Germany that has North Macedonia in second place. That was a big win. And I think if Joachim Löw was still in charge of that Germany team, Germany would have still been in a scrap here for a World Cup qualifying place, in my opinion. So we go down here. North Macedonia against Iceland. What happened when these two teams met earlier? North Macedonia, Iceland. 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw, right? 2-2 draw. North Macedonia will be at home. So they have the stage set to do something special. A draw could be good enough according to the result in the Liechtenstein-Romania game. But you don't want to actually depend on Liechtenstein, who got thrashed 9-0 against Germany, to get a result against a very good Romanian team. Armenia play Germany. So my prediction for Armenia versus Germany, I'm going for Germany to beat them 5-0. Not the stuffing out of Armenia. Once and for all. North Macedonia versus Iceland. Iceland, I have to say, after making a debut at the 2018 World Cup, they have regressed. There's been some, drama and controversy going on in their football and everything. And the FA, where they recently appointed a lady as their new FA president. So all the best to her in reforming Icelandic football. But North Macedonia versus Iceland in Skopje, that's going to be very, very, very tough game for Iceland. Just want to put it out there, because if an opportunity presents itself for a country like North Macedonia, former Yugoslav nation, to get into the playoff, which will be the first time they'll get this far in World Cup qualifiers, they're not going to let that opportunity slip. This will be the 6th meeting where North Macedonia has 2 wins, 2 draws, and they have only lost once to Iceland back in a World Cup qualifying game back in 2008. So they have only met in World Cup qualifiers. That was a narrow 1-0 loss. So they need a win. And I think North Macedonia are going to run to a 3-1 win over this struggling Iceland team. This is not the same Iceland team that made it to Euro 16 or qualified for the 2018 World Cup impressively directly to the World Cup in a group that had Croatia. Remember that one, guys. I don't think this is not the same Iceland team at all. And North Macedonia, what they did there against Armenia, I really didn't expect them to pull off a 5-0 victory. In his body, a hat-trick, look for him. You have guys like Alioski, formerly at Leeds United. Ilif Elmas, there's some quality. Trokovsky. They got quality in the team. I wish Goran Pandev was still around to help the team qualify. They would be without him. But listen, I'm backing this team to make it to the playoffs. A win here would take them to the playoffs regardless of what happened in the game between Liechtenstein and Romania. Look, so I'm going for 3-1 win for North Macedonia. Liechtenstein, Romania, look, Romania gonna win that game. I don't need to go into head-to-head. Romania are winning that game for me 3-1. Liechtenstein are gonna bag a goal. But I don't think Romania are gonna lose the game. They're gonna give themselves all the chances, the best chance of actually qualifying. Let's say Macedonia draw, Romania win, Romania are through to the playoffs. I'm going for North Macedonia to make it to the playoffs. They are going to join Serbia, in my opinion. They're going to join Wales, Austria, Croatia, Sweden, one of Italy or Switzerland, Poland in the playoffs as well. And it's going to be a nice little playoff tournament. It's going to be a nice tournament. But that's my thoughts, and these are my predictions. Let me know yours in the chat. Appreciate it. So the playoffs would have 12 teams, and there will be 2 teams from the Nations League. Those teams would be one of Austria. Austria is confirmed. Then you will have Wales or the Czech Republic. And if we run down the list right now for all the groups, I think it's going to be Serbia. So let's say Austria, Wales, Serbia, Sweden, Switzerland maybe, or Italy, but let's say Switzerland. Finland, 6. Finland, 6. Did I say Wales or did I count in these teams yet? Let's go over. Let's go over this. Let's start from 8. Serbia, Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, or Ukraine, but let's say Finland. Wales and the Czech Republic make 6. They will both go into the playoffs. 6, right? Then we have Scotland, 7. Austria, 8. Netherlands or Turkey or Norway? Oh, man. Let's say Turkey, 9. Let's say Turkey, 9. Croatia, 10. Poland, 11. And North Macedonia, 12. Those will be the playoff teams, most likely. And it's going to be a well-balanced playoff tournament if none of the big guns get pulled in. Well, Italy might get drawn into the playoffs, or even Spain, though. So let's see how it works out. Guys, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. We have gone through all confederations, 3 hours, 42 minutes. That's a killer live stream there. And it's, it's dedication. That's all it is, man. Dedication. So Karumi, love this preview show. Thank you, man. Appreciate everybody who tuned into the thing. Appreciate it, man. Let me see. Dominic, do lots of video with the U.S. men's national team fans. My channel for the Jamaica versus. Let me see. What are you saying? Ryan, I don't even understand what you're saying, bro. I don't understand what you're saying. You got to message me or something. I don't know what you're talking about. You might have to send me a voice note on YouTube, because I don't know what you're trying to say here. But yeah, man, it's tense. But guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave you. I love you here, but I got to leave you. I want to do a bit of clip out some of these predictions I made, get them out. And then I'm going to go to bed and try to wake up and do a watch along. I have a couple watch alongs to, schedule. I hope I wake up in time, though. That's the thing. But if I do go to sleep in about 2 hours, I think I'll get about 5 hours sleep. And that will be enough for me to do my thing tomorrow, where it's going to be a very, 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 very busy day of World Cup qualifying coverage. So, guys, don't forget, man. You guys don't forget. All of y'all don't forget. The real ones who are grinding through World Cup qualifiers. Because, and I'm gonna say this time and time again, because I myself, I'm fed up with these people who never talk World Cup qualifiers, and as soon as the teams are known, you see they start doing their thing and they start. I hate that. I absolutely hate it with a passion. When the World Cup comes around, they're the biggest World Cup people. I hate it, man. Make sure you call them out and tell them who's a real GOAT when it comes to World Cup qualifiers. If you go back to 2018, I didn't do this much. But 2022, oh my God, guys. I've probably 1,000 times the work that I've did in 2017-18 for the World Cup qualifiers now, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. So, look, we have a lot more days to do. We have World Cup qualifiers all the way till when? Tuesday? I think it's until Tuesday, right? We don't have games on Wednesday this time around, right? I know we usually have late Conmebol games, but I don't think we have games on late in Conmebol this time around, where we only have games going up to Tuesday. Yeah. So Tuesday, we're going to run this thing until Tuesday, and I might actually have to come on Wednesday to do like a wrap-up thing for November and to talk about all the qualified teams and all that kind of good stuff and whatnot. And look, and then we come back in January. But in between the January and December, even in December, I'll try to put together some things in terms of the World Cup and all of that, so we could stay abreast with what's actually going on there. So appreciate it, moderate mapper. Appreciate it. So Ryan LFC want you to do a preview for the USA game. The thing about it is that I'm not the biggest USA fan, you know. I would love to do the preview. You know what I mean? But I'm not to be honest, I'm not, Ryan, bro, if you what, I'm not the best person to do the preview with. I'm not the best person at all. Because even though I live in the USA and I'm a US citizen, I'm not like the biggest US fan. You see what I'm saying? Where I would love to do the preview with you, but I can't speak from a USA perspective, seeing that it's difficult, man. It is difficult, but we'd love to do the preview with you. But Jamaica's losing the game, if you ask me. So, Dominic, you're back on Thursday for the Premier League. The preview would actually be on Friday. Big up to the boy Football Pharaoh. Yes. Did you hear about Memo Ochoa talking smack? Yes, he said that USA, Mexico are something of a mirror or something. I ran into it. Let me tell you what it is. Yeah, I got it right here for you. You see? The boy Dom got everything here for you. Don't worry yourself. I got everything unlocked. It's just that I don't have the time, man. If I had the time, guys, I would share so many more things with you, but I didn't want to draw the streams out this time around. There was too much information to actually share. So, Memo Ochoa, Mexico is the mirror in which the USA wants to see itself. Christian Pulisic, man in the mirror. Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Memo Ochoa, talk shit now, nah? Continue with your shit now. You feel me? Yeah, the USA really stepped up, though. They stepped up big time. And Mexico, if they don't bounce back against Canada, it could be in the mud a bit. So, well done. Man in the mirror, man. When you look in the mirror, you know, hope you like what you see. But the USA, three times in 2021, that's a statement there. Memo Ochoa should shut up. Shouldn't talk about that right now. All right, so look, man, guys, that's about it. About to get up out of here. You feel me? About to get up out of here, man. You know what I mean? You know, I love talking to you guys, but I gotta go, man. I gotta go. You see what I'm saying? This is the first time I'm wearing this shirt. Nice bright blue. Looks sweet. And Gotta keep pulling out the gear. I gotta organize my gear though. I really gotta organize my gear. They're all over the place, man. All over the place. I have a bunch of football jerseys over there. I have a bunch of them in the corner. I have a bunch of them in the corner over there outside. It's just ridiculous. I'm racking up a collection though. I gotta treat my collection a lot better, but I've just been caught up, man. I've just been caught up. But guys, look. John Burns, what happens to the playoffs if no Oceania matches? Well, there will be Oceania matches. There will be a playoff. They would use the highest ranked team from Oceania, which is New Zealand, and put them directly into the playoffs. Big up to Highbury. How are you? Thank you very much. Daddy, Big Daddy of Spokane, and everybody in here. Guys, I'm about to go. I got a lot of work to do still. So we'll talk soon. Thank you very much for the continued support. John Burns, bro. Thank you very much for dropping all those super chats on the live stream today. And, you know, I do appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate it. If I was depending on YouTube alone to pay my bills, I would be, you know what I mean? I would be like, God damn, I've made it for the month already. So thank you very much, John Burns, and continue to, you know, support the thing. Moderate Mappa, bro. What's up with you? Why are you clocking the man's super chat? That's the man's money. The man chooses to do what he wants with his money. You feel me? Just like how you choose to do what you want with yours. Some of us, listen, I know some people are kids and they can't afford things and things like that. But people do what they want. If the man want to support a thing, let the man support the thing and stop watching the thing. Stop it. Jeez. If everybody on here super chatted, I won't need to go to work. Let's just put it out there. But that's not the case. So when someone does or someone chooses to be a member, you know what I'm saying? Just thank you very much, man. Big up to Fresh God. Big up to everybody in the house. And I'm out of here. Definitely out of here. But I have to leave you with a banger again. Got to turn it up for this track. I love this track, man. I absolutely love this track. I don't know what it is. This track just touches my soul. You feel me? Touches my soul. Because I got one, of course. This track is fire. But guys, peace out, man. We'll talk again in the morning. Peace. Peace.